Hi everyone. We'll start with the session now. A few things I'll just like to clarify again. So this is not like a operations issue session. So if you have like any issues connecting to the OPPE VM or the normal VM or creating like SSH key, you can take it up in the session that will go on every day from 9 to 11. So hopefully you're aware every day 9 to 11 there's a support session. So you can take those doubt up there. So today's session will basically go over a few topics that are important for the upcoming OPP. So concepts that you like, if you're familiar with them, it will be helpful. So the syllabus we have already shared with you. So the syllabus is week 1 to week 9 with the important topics. We have sent it as a mail. But even out of those, some important topics that might come in the OPP, we will discuss today. Right, so let me share my screen. All right. Okay. So yeah, let's start the session. So we will not be covering all the topics of the syllabus, right? So we have already shared a few videos for that, so you can go through those. We will just be covering some important topics, and just after each topic that we've discussed, just let me know if you have any doubts in those, right? So we can also take up the doubts as we go along. Right, so the first one, like the very basics. So this used to be like the first few weeks. Now it's week 5 of the course is the shell variables. Right, so the very basics of Bash, how you can define variables and how we can use variables. This will be useful for you in almost all the questions, but especially a few of the questions. So let me show you a few examples quickly on this. So yeah. So this is VS Code. You can do it in your shell also. I'm just doing it so that it's easier for you to see. Right, so let's say we have a Bash script. Hopefully you're familiar with how scripts work. So we can define variables just by giving a key value pair. So we can give the name, let's say var1, this is name of the variable, equals a value. Right, so this is as simple as it is to define a variable. So hopefully this is visible for everyone, even if you have joined from a phone. Right, so this is how you define a variable, and then you can read a value of a variable by prefixing the name of the variable with a dollar. So for example, you can do echo $var1, and this will print the value of the variable. So if you run this, you can see it will print 5. So this is the very basics. You can similarly also do basic arithmetic on these. So if I want to, let's say, increase the value of this, I can do things like var1 plus plus. So what will be the output? It will be 5 plus 1, which is 6. And so if I run this, you can see the output is now 6. Right. Similarly, we can also, let's say, take two variables, find their sum, product, subtraction, etc. So if let's say where 2 is 10, I can do something like echo, and a very small observation that you can make here. So this double round brackets, this is for evaluating any mathematical expression inside Bash, but the expression is just evaluated and nothing is returned back. So this will not give back anything. However, if you want to evaluate the expression and get the value, so for example, if you want to print the value, right? So in echo, instead of printing variable 1, I want to print their sum. So there I have to put it with the dollar. And so here we did not use the dollar. Here we have to put it with the dollar. So here I can say, let's say var1 plus var2. So now I can see 5 plus 10, we get the output of 15. So hopefully till here it is pretty clear how we are doing variable manipulation. Right. Similarly, you can find the product. So this will give you 5 into 10. This is 50. Right, and you can do obviously minus. So 5 minus 10, it will give you minus 5. And division. So if you do division here, this will not actually work as you expect. So 5 by 10, it is supposed to be 0.5. But you will get 0, right? Because inside Bash, if you do arithmetic this way, it supports only integers, right? Not floating values. So 5 by 10, it will only give you the integer part, which is 0. So if you do, let's say, variable 2 by variable 1, then you will get the correct answer, which is 2. But if you want to do variable 1 by 2, then you have to use something else. So you can either use expr or you can use bc. So you can use bc or expr. So let's see how we can do it in expr. So if I do this variable 1 by variable 2, and if I run this, sorry, variable 1 by variable 2, if I run this, you can see that we are getting 0 here, right? So even in expr, it seems like it is giving you the uh, only the integer part, right, and not the floating point part. So expr is
So
useful.
for
Yeah.
with EXPR, we don't need echo, right?
No, because expr itself will print it, so you don't need echo. Right? So even in expr, you can see we can do all the basic operations that we were doing, but again here you can see that the division is still not working. Right? So let us try it now with bash. Sorry, with bc. So in bc, you have to actually give the entire expression as standard input. So here, as you can see, we were giving it as command line arguments, right? So this was the command. This is first argument. This is second argument. This is third argument. But in BC, we have to actually give it as a standard input. So for example, if I have the expression as a string, so if I just put it this way, var1 by var2. Okay, so this is just a string. I will show you what this is. So if I simply echo this, so you will see this is just a string. It will just contain the thing 5 by 10. So instead of having variable by variable, it is evaluating the value of these variables. But the entire string is still having this by. So it's not actually finding the result. It is just putting the variables in there. So now if I put this into BC, right, if I put pipe this to BC, then you will see we are getting the we're still getting 0, right? Because BC also by default has no decimal precision. So there are two ways you can change this in BC. However, you can either give a scale variable, or you can simply use the math filter. I think that for that we have to use, let me quickly check, it's minus L, I think. One second. Let's just try it out. That will be easier. Right, so here if I give minus L, so you can see now we are getting it with the decimal precision, right? So we are getting 0.5. So this is by default giving you a very big precision, a lot of zeros. But you can also change the scale. Instead of using minus L, which by default uses, I think, 15 digits of precision, you can put a scale here. So you can say scale equals 2 semicolon. This is like in bash how you separate commands with semicolon. Here also you can separate commands with semicolon. So first you're telling set the scale to 2, and then find the value of this variable 1 by variable 2. So then you get only 2 scales precision. Right? So this is basic arithmetic you can do in bash with variables. If the variables are numbers, then we can do arithmetic. If the variables are strings, then we can do something like the variable manipulation. Right? So for example, so hopefully this is clear. Right? So I'll save this and I'll create a new one. Yeah. So for example, now let's say I have a variable which is pineapple, right? And if I do echo var1, then it prints the value which is pineapple. So this again means that in bash there is nothing like data types. Actually, all variables are actually strings. If I want to treat a variable as a number, we do it inside the like the other way we showed, right? So inside the round bracket. So if I put it inside the double round brackets, then automatically these variables are treated as numbers. But otherwise, by default, everything is a string. So here is also you can see this pineapple is a string. So now we can do a few different operations on the strings. So for example, I can do things like var1 and then a single upper like caret. So this symbol is called caret. Some people also call it a hat. Right? So this is streaming, right? Yeah. So what this will do is it will take the first letter and make it uppercase. So you can see the difference. Just printing it normally, we get this, but doing this, we get the first letter to be uppercase. Similarly, if I put 2 carets, then this will convert the entire string to uppercase. So let me do it in another line. So you can see, does this have any? shortcut, no. Okay, so you can see now this is printing the entire word in uppercase. And so this only works with letters, of course. So if you have things like numbers, that will not be changed. So that remains as it is. So numbers remain as it is. But if you have letters, so uppercase letter will remain uppercase, but lowercase will be converted to uppercase. So for example, if I change this A to be capital, so you can see normal one, it's printing as it is. This one, it doesn't actually change everything else to lowercase. This only changes the first letter to be uppercase. So if something else is uppercase, this will remain uppercase. And similarly, we can use something like the comma to make the first letter lowercase. So first letter is already lowercase, so this will not have any effect. But we can use double comma to make the entire thing lowercase. So here you can see the A is also made into lowercase. So this is basically your case conversion. Right? So you can
Sir,
convert
what
variables.
does
Yeah. Yeah.
sir, what does the double comma at the end means?
So this means convert the entire variable into lowercase. So you can
And
see
that
here.
the above one is upper.
Yes. Yeah. So this will convert only first letter. This will convert the entire string. This
Okay.
also will convert the entire string.
Okay.
Let me put the comments here. Maybe that will be helpful. Convert first letter to uppercase. This is convert all to uppercase. And this is convert all to lowercase. Right. So I'll make these scripts available for you. I'll give you the link actually now, 1 second, so we can keep it open. This should be, yeah. You can keep this link with you. I have not pushed these right now, so after the session, these also will be available. So this folder will be available.
In case of single comma, it will
Yeah.
print only first letter.
It'll only make the first letter lowercase. So currently this has all of them, but let's say I have something to I have something like this now. So if I do something like this, then this will only convert the first letter to lowercase. You can see everything else remains uppercase. First letter becomes lowercase. Right. So this is how we can do basic manipulation in Bash with string variables. We can also do some other things like printing the length. So for example, yeah, string length. We can just like this. So one thing I skimmed over, I hope you have already gone through. So if you just want to access the variable, you can just do this $var. But if you want to do any of these operations on the variable, you have to enclose this in curly braces. Right? You can also just print, like just put this. This will simply print the value of the variable. So this and this are the same. But yeah, for doing all these operations, you have to put them in this curly braces. So the hash symbol is used to find the length of the string. So yeah, let's see the other one also. Yeah. So you can see length of the two variables. If I print, the first one is big, so it's 12 characters. The second one, banana, is only 6 characters. Right? So this way you can get the string length. And also you can find substrings. Right? So in Python, you would have done something like, let's say where 1 colon, and then you do, let's say, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you do something like this, right? So this will give you the substring. So similarly, you can do something like that in Bash also. So you can, let me put a heading here, substring. So you can do something like this. So what this will do is it will extract the substring from 4th index till the end. So if I run this, you can see instead of pineapple, I got apple. Right? And you can also stop before the end. So here we have just given one number, but if I want to stop, let's say after the apple, so I don't want the 1, 2, 3, then I can also add the end also. Right? So, but instead of adding the end, we just put the length. So here, if I make this 5, right? So what this will do is it will start the substring from the index 4. And here again, indexing is done with 0. Right? So you can see P is 0, I is 1, N is 2, E is 3, and A is 4. Right? So we start with the index 4 and we take 5 characters. Right? So this is not an index, this is the length of the string. If you do that, then you will get only that substring.
Sir, it also makes the first letter to be in the uppercase.
No, this was already in uppercase.
Okay.
Okay.
Then how to distinguish between 4 and 5 indexes?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
How to know the number 5 is represent index or length?
No, so in Bash, this will always be the length. If you're doing substring extraction, the first one will be the starting index. If you don't have anything, it will go till the end. But if you have the second parameter, that is the length of the substring. It is not the ending index.
So in this there is no step and
No. So this is the starting index and the length. If you try, let's say the step, let me check. I don't think there is a step, but if you try this, yeah, you don't have a step. So this only has the start and the length, no step here. Right. So this is a few of the case and string, substring. There is also another thing that we'll check, which is removing the suffix and prefix. So just let me know if you have any doubts in this first. Right. Okay.
Sir, the last command.
Yeah, this one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is the value of variable 1. So what I want to do is I want to extract this part. Yeah, hopefully the highlight is visible. So this is the fourth index where we are starting, and the substring I want is of length 5. Right? So 5 characters, APPLE. So this is how we do that. So if I put the name of the variable, colon, the starting index of the substring, colon, the length of the substring. So this will fetch me the, so if I run this will fetch me the substring from that variable. Okay.
What are those parameters? Those two parameters. One is the starting point, right?
Starting index, another is the length of the substring.
The 5/5 is the length of the index. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So one more thing that we have.
Sir, starting means fourth index means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes,
like
it
that,
starts
sir?
with 0. Yes. I'll add that. Starts with 0. Okay. And also first param is starting index. Second param is length of the substring, which is optional. Okay. So finally, another thing we can do with variables. So let me again add. So what should I add? Okay. So let's say I have a path here, right? So home user document, something like that. So there are a few things I may want to do with this. Right? So what we are going to see now is prefix and suffix removal with both greedy and not greedy. Right? So basically what I want to do is any prefix or any suffix. So I'm just going to show with paths, but this can be done with any symbol that you want. Right? So what I want to do in this is, let's say I have this variable and I want to extract just this part. So what I want to do, I want to find any string in this that has any character and it ends with a forward slash, right? So this entire thing will match that. So like any character any number of times, and in the end we should have a forward slash, and that I want to remove. Right? So if I simply print this var1, you can see that I get the whole path. But now if I do something like this, var1, and I remove from the starting anything followed by a forward slash. Let's say if I do it with 2 hashes, I'll show you all the 4 possibilities. But here you can see I'm getting system commands. Right? So what I'm doing, I am telling bash to take this variable and remove greedily. So this is an example of greedy and prefix removal. So greedily remove anything from the start of the string which ends with a forward slash. Yeah, there is some doubt. Okay. So let me quickly explain this. Then if you have any doubts, we can take that up. So this part is the name of the variable. So var1 is the variable. The two pound symbols means a prefix removal, right? So pound means a prefix removal. That means anything that's at the starting of the variable. And 1 pound is a normal prefix removal. 2 pound symbols means it's a greedy prefix removal. So what is the difference? Let us quickly see. So instead of 2, if I have 1, so this is non-greedy. So what this will do is it'll remove just the first forward slash, right? Or let's say if I don't have that, then it'll remove only till the first match. So you can see what I have asked to match is any character any number of times followed by a slash. So even this string will match, right? So home slash, this is matching this pattern. So non-greedy will take as little as possible and it will remove that. So if I just want to remove the first part, it will do that. But greedy, what it will do, it is greedy, right? So it will take as much as possible. So the pattern remains same. You can see the pattern is same. It's star and slash. So it will remove the entire thing. So as much as it can match. Right? So that is the only difference. So you can see output here is system commands for the first one and user document system commands for the second one. Yeah, I think someone has raised their hand.
Sir, in the greedy, non-greedy search, right? You
Hmm.
said that it will take up the first slash, right? So if I have say ho slash me, then it
Yeah.
will only take till ho.
Yes, that is correct. So
Okay.
if you, it's the same as what we are doing here, right? So if you do that, you will see it will only take the first part.
Okay, sir.
So
Yeah,
I was just asking, instead of the asterisk symbol, if
yeah.
we put a plus or dot, then what will the difference? Like I find it quite difficult to differentiate between these three. Can you please
Huh.
explain this?
No, so that will be in regex, right? So in regex, if I want to say anything any number of times, that will be dot star. Or if I want to say anything any number of times, but at least once, it will be dot plus. But this is not regex, right? We are doing it directly in this bash. So this is a simple glob matching, similar to how, for example, you would do something like you will do ls star, no? So this will print everything that you have. So this is again a glob. So here you're doing a glob matching. It is not a regex matching. So here
Oh,
star means anything any number of times, and question mark would mean only a single character. So uh, that you can check, like if you have something like this. So if you have a single character and then if you give question mark, I think this should work. So it will yeah, it will remove, it'll match only one character. So ideally we don't want to match a single character. If we know what is the character, then we don't really use this. So we use star. So it will match any number of characters, any number of any characters, and then it will remove that.
okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So similarly, we have suffix removal. It's the exact same logic. So instead of hash, we will use percentage symbol. So yeah, yeah, Rida.
So suppose you had home and you had a hash question mark slash. What would it remove then?
Okay, let me try that. What are you saying?
Hash question mark star.
Question mark star. So that matches the same thing, and then slash, right?
Oh,
So
sorry, slash, not star slash.
okay. So this will, I don't think this will remove anything, because in our string we have 4 letters and then a slash. Right. So what you're trying to remove from the starting is 1 letter and a slash. That is not present. So this pattern does not match in this variable. Right. So you're saying remove 1 letter followed any 1 letter followed by a slash. But here you don't have that. You have 4 letters and like the 1 letter and then this is not slash. This is O. So this pattern is not matched at all. So nothing is removed. If this was, let's say like this, it was H slash, then it will match. So then it will remove.
Okay, and suppose if user was just you, then
Uh, no, it still won't do, right? Because it's a prefix matching, so it'll only do from the start. It won't do in from the middle.
all right, okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's only from the
Sir,
left.
can we have a star after question mark? Then
then it's same as just star. No, it's not no difference is there. So you can say it's the same output. So question mark star means one character followed by any character any number of times, and this means this also means the same thing. So one difference this will have is if you just have one character, then I'm not sure what if there is a difference. No, still no difference, because star can also take 0 characters. So this is same. So it's just telling one character followed by any characters followed by a slash. So it is same as this because star can take any number of characters. So they are identical. So you don't really need to use the question mark here. Right, so let's quickly also see the suffix removal and greedy and non-greedy suffix removal. No, I don't want this, I want this. Right, so one other difference you would see in the pattern. So this was star slash, and now we are doing slash star. So why is that? So because I want to remove the suffix, right? So what I want is remove the slash and anything that comes after the slash. So remember, this is a suffix removal. So I am removing from the right side. So I'm telling remove, find the slash and then any character after the slash, you remove that. So if I do it greedily, what will be the output? So can anyone tell me what will be the output of these two lines? Last two.
Only the home is removed, and after that everything. Sorry, only home will come.
Yes. So the first output will only be home because this is double percentage. So this is greedy. So it will remove the maximum possible match for the slash star. So you can see this slash and then anything any number of times. This is the biggest match. So it will remove that. Whereas this is non-greedy, so it will match the smallest possible, which is this one. Right? So the output of the last one will be this.
I have understood it as it will start from end.
Yes. Yeah. It will start from end. So suffix means from the end. Right? So it will start from the end and it will remove this pattern slash star. So you can see this. These are the outputs. So hopefully this part is clear with everyone. Prefix and suffix.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. And finally, also we'll see how we can store a standard input into the variable. So currently we are defining the variable inside the code itself. Sometimes we want to take the variable from the user input or any standard input that is passed to the code. So for example, if I want to take the name, right? So I can ask what is your name. So I can do something like what is your name, and then so this first line is just for printing to the screen. This is not doing anything, and then I can do read name. So what the read command will do, it will take one line from standard input, and the entire line it will store in this variable. So it will create a variable with this name if it does not exist, and it will store that line here. So then I can simply print the name or something like this, hello. So I can put it in a string, right? So hello name, $name. So if I do this, you can see here it's asking what is your name. So if I, I think this is a read only. Let me run it from the terminal. Okay. Yeah, so it's asking what is your name. So if I give my name, you get, right? So the name is put there. So, and this does not take just one word. This will take as much as you write. So you can write as many words as you want, as long as you don't have a new line. So before you press enter, anything that you put, the entire line will be taken. So you can see the entire line is stored in the variable. So what this will do is read entire line into variable. So let me simply just print the variable. So it's easier for us to see what is happening. Sorry, not like this. Let me run it like this. So you will see the entire thing is taken and it is stored in the variable. So now you can also read the line and you can break the line with some symbol, and you can store each of them in separate words. So that will be called tokenization, or you can also call it delimiter. Right? So this you can do by setting the IFS variable. So by default, this will be like any white space. So for example, if I do read AB and if I do echo A and echo B, so let me put this in a separate file. Maybe it will be easier for us to see. Yeah. So here, if I, let's say, type two words, hello world, you can see the first word will be stored in this variable A, and the second word will be stored in this variable B. Yeah. Any doubts?
And more than that, it will not count, right?
No, it will still take, right? So that is again one thing we like. One thing you have to understand is if you give, let's say, three words, then the first word will go into A, and everything after that will go into B. So you can see hello comes in A, and everything after that will go into B. So basically, it will try to split with the tokenizer. But if there are more words than there are variables, the last variable will store everything that is left. So this is useful if you just want to take the first word, for example, or let's say you want to take only the third word. So there might be any number of words, but you want to take the third word. So for example, you can have some discard variables, let's say A, B, and then the actual variable that you want. And then you can again have some discard variable. So what this will do, let's say I don't want to see what the other ones are. Yeah. So what this will do, it will store the first word in A, but we don't care about that. It will store the second word in B. Again, we don't care about that. It will store the third word in this variable. This might be a bit confusing. Let me change this to myWhere or something like that. Yeah. And the fourth word or any other, like if we have fourth word, it will store here. If we have like 10 words, the fourth to 10th, all the words will be stored in C. So in any case, we will get the third word here. So for example, if I run this again, so here you can see the third word is R. So we will get R. And if I give more than 4 words also, still you will get just the third word, right? So everything else, like this entire thing becomes the fourth variable. This is first variable, this is second variable, this is the third variable. So hopefully this is clear how we can tokenize in the read. And by default, this is splitting by space, but that is not required. So you can split by any character. So let us see how we can split by some other
Sir, in
character.
short, can you please tell what happened there? Like, how is it taking the third variable only?
Yes. So what we are doing, I am telling read, and then whatever you're getting. So it is splitting by default. I'm not telling how to split. So by default, it is splitting by space. And it is, I'm telling it to store the first word in variable A, second word in variable B, third word in variable myvar,
Okay.
and everything else in variable C. It's a read will automatically split that, and then you can just print the variable of myvar.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah. So custom IFS. So if I want to change the IFS, what I can do is I can, let's say I do IFS equals colon, and then I do read, let's say A, B, C. I am reading again 3 variables, right? And I can again echo A, echo B, echo C. So here what I'm doing, I'm telling don't split by space, rather split by colon. So if I run this, so here if I give the same input, so what will be the output?
One
Nothing.
only A.
Yeah, so A will contain the entire thing, B and C will be empty, right? Because I don't have any colon, so it is not able to split. So the entire string, it is coming as just one token. So A gets everything, B and C are empty. So now if let's say I want to have 3 questions, I can separate them by colon. Sorry, colon. Okay. So now you can see, because I have put the IFS to be colon, so this is splitting this line by colon. So this is the first part, this is the second part, and this is the third part. So it is storing them in the 3 variables. So again, the same thing. If you have more than 3, then all of them will come in the last one. Like everything after the first and second will come in the last one. Yeah.
So can you please just go back to the 5sh?
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question. suppose our IFS is question mark, okay, and
Yeah.
we are, that means we are writing like hello, how are you, and then question mark, then what is your name, and then question mark. But I want to retain that question mark when it is printed. Means even though it is split on question mark, but I want to retain that. So how to do that thing?
No, that won't work. So for example, I have set IFS to be question mark. Let's say I have how are you, and then what is your name. So here you will not have the question mark. So if you want, you can just put the question mark here when you are printing. That is at max what you can, but
Okay, so
it will
there is
not
no
retain it.
concept of backslash here then. It's like usually we would escape the character, right? But here we can't do that.
Okay, if you want to like escape it, let me see if it works. So if I do this, so yeah, that will work. So you can see if I do something like this, hello backslash question mark, how are you? So this question mark is not used to split. So this comes as part of the thing, right? And you like the entire thing comes as the first token. So you can do that. You can use backslash. But if you, let's say, use -r, so what will be the difference? Will we get any difference? So let me copy this. Paste this. Yeah, so it will then again split, right? So it will split by the question mark. So if you have -r, then the escaping will not work. But if you don't have -r, then it will work.
Okay.
This IFS equal to this. It has to be in the same line as read, or it can be in a different line.
Now, if you have it in a separate line, it will change it for the entire script. So I'll show you an example. Maybe let me do it in another file, or maybe here only I can do. So let me switch back to the colon. Okay, so currently how this is happening. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so you can
Sir,
see.
do we need to pass the IFS value in string?
No, you can. Yeah, you can quote it, but even if you don't quote it, it is fine. It will not cause an issue.
Okay.
Yeah. So here currently you can see it is split by colon. So again now if I, let's say, do read A B C, and again I print the value of A B C. So if I do this, so you can see the first time I give A colon B colon C. And let's say space hello. So it is split by colon, right? So you get first token as A, second as B, and third as C hello. But if I give the same input again, now you will see it is split a different way, right? So it's taking the entire thing as the first token. This is second token. This is because this IFS is only for this read, and the other read is not affected. However, if you put it in a separate line, now this IFS is changed for the entire script, not just this read. So now if you do this, same thing if I do, right? So A, B, C, hello. So first one remains as it is, but in the second one also it will split using the colon. So ideally we don't do this because we don't want my IFS to change for every other command I run. So if we do it just in the same line, it will only change it for this command, not the other ones.
Sir, what does that equal to semicolon do there?
So if they put braces, then what happens?
Braces where?
Above IFS and closing the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me check. So you're telling me I'll put this in a separate line, and I'll have this inside braces, and let me do it again here. So this you want to check, right? Well, let propagate.
Closing braces is this one.
Okay. Okay, let me see. Not sure. So the first one works as expected. The second one, no, it will go outside also. So it won't stay inside. So you can see even for the
Braces
next
has
one.
to come down, right? The braces has to come after the second read, yeah.
No, even without that. So we were checking if this IFS is contained in this braces. So you can see it is not contained, right? Even for the next read, it is doing it like it is splitting by colon only.
No, put the braces at the end. Okay, and the end anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, it will anyway do that. Yeah. Okay, so let me move on. So hopefully this one is clear. Right, so how to split with custom IFS. Is there anything else I want to go through? Okay, so we have seen how we can work with variables and how I can read one line of input. And let us also quickly see how we can read any like dynamic lines of input. So if the user gives 5 lines, we read 5 lines. If they give 10 lines, we read 10 lines. Right, so that we can do using read and a while loop. Right, so read only reads one line, and a while loop will keep on looping as long as a condition is true. So if I do while read line, do done. So this loop will run for as many lines as there is. So this will keep on running, and this will only stop when this read command will give a non-zero exit code. And this will happen if there is no more line to read. So if let's say you're reading a file, then if you reach the end of file, then this will stop. Or in terminal, if you press Ctrl D, it will stop. So let us quickly see how this works. So let's say I give line and then I print the line. So let me run this. So here you can see if I give hello, how are you? So it comes as one line. And I can keep on giving input. So you can see it is basically reading and printing each line. So this is one way of taking any, like if you don't know the number of lines of the file or the input, you can keep on reading like this. So it will work the same for each line. So each line you are reading into this variable line, and then whatever you want to do with that line, you can do here. So for example, I can do something like I can print, let's say only the last word. Right, so how will I print only the last word? I want to split by spaces and print only the last word. How will I do that?
So can you use IFS along with while loop?
Yes, you can do that. So you can put it here. IFS. Sorry, you can do it
using percentage.
No, right. So I want to remove from the starting. I want only the last word, means I want to remove from the starting. So it's a prefixing. Yeah, greedy prefix. So I will I will remove from line anything followed by a space. Okay. So this will remove all the words except the last word. So if I run this, so if I give hello, how are you? So it will only print you. So this is just an example. So you can take the line, you can do any manipulation with that line inside the for loop, and every time it will be in the line variable. So each time it will update it. So for each line, the line variable will be updated with that line. Right? So this way you can take input, and okay, let me show you how you can stop. So you can press Ctrl D. That indicates the end of the input. So it will stop normally. Or you can press Ctrl C also. That stops the entire process. But if you have something after this, no? For example, then Ctrl C will not print that. So if I, let's say, do Ctrl C, I don't get the last output. But if I use Ctrl D, then you can see like it will not stop the program. It will just say that, okay, I'm done giving the input. So this while loop will stop, and then the outside thing will run. Let's add that here. If you forget, only printed with Control D, not Control C. Okay, so this is how you can take multi-line input in Bash, like from the standard input. And then you can similarly, you can club it with what we saw here, right? You can use IFS here also, and you can split it. So I'll leave that up to you.
This Control D is to come out of the loop, is it? While loop, is it?
Control D in the shell means you're signaling that you're done giving input. It's the end of line indicator, sorry, end of file indicator. So read will interpret that as you are done with giving input. So it will throw it will return with a non-zero exit code. And when any command in a while gives a non-zero exit code, then while stops. Right? So then that's why this while loop will stop. So like that is like the end result is yes, but it's done like through 3 steps. So Control D gives end of line, end of file. Read interprets that and gives a non-zero exit code, and then while stops the while loop. right? So hopefully this part was clear. Oh, okay, I put this slide later, but we have done this. It's a converting string manipulation, prefix and suffix. Okay, so let me know if you have any doubts in these things that we have covered now.
So instead of while, if we give read line and less than symbol to read from standard in, less than ampersand 0, will that work same way?
So read anyway reads from ampersand
Standard
0.
in. Okay.
Yeah, it reads from standard in. So that will not make any changes. And that will just read one line again. It will not read all the lines.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Prefix and
you have
suffix.
that replacing a part of a string you not done.
Okay. So let us quickly see that. Basically, string replacement. So this is also this is similar to how you do it in sed, right? So if you, let's say, have this string hello world, and you do the name of the variable / what you want to replace / what you want to replace with. So if you do this, you will get hello bash. So this will do it only once. And let's say I also have world here. So if I run this, you will see that only the first occurrence is replaced. So the single / will replace only once. So replace first occurrence. But you can also replace all the occurrence by putting 2 / here. So you can see here both the first and the second one is replaced with bash. Yeah. Someone raised their hand.
So prefix and suffix mainly. Still, I have not understood.
Yeah. What is your doubt?
Basically, means like what this hash and percentage are doing. It's like how to remember that what hash is doing and percentage.
Yeah, so hash means it's a prefix removal. So hash will remove from the left. Let's say in your string, if you want to remove something from the left, or you can think of it like if you want to keep something from the right. Right? So if you want to keep something from the right, means you have to remove from the left. So if you remove from the left, you use hash. If you remove from the right, you use percentage. Now, if you use a single one, it will remove as little as possible. So I'm telling remove anything followed by a slash. So the smallest possible removal is this one. So it will remove that. So you can see.
And sir, if we remove that star, second one.
Actually, in while loop, there is nothing like slash till. Remove till slash in this. But in while loop, where you use only double slash.
Sorry, I didn't get you. Also, why is this not working? 1 second. This was working earlier, right? Okay, it's working. Yeah, what is your doubt?
Can you open the while loop where we
Last
use
one?
this? Yes.
This one.
Yes. In this, when we try to cut this, then there is no limit. Double hash, then
we have
stop.
put the space. No, this is the limit. So any delimiter you put, that will be used. So star means any character followed by a space. So what were we doing here? Here we were doing any character followed by a slash. Right. So this means so for the non-greedy one, it will do till here. So any character, any number of times. So HOME, then followed by a slash. But here I don't want to split by slash. I'm just wanting to take the last word. So words are split by space. So here we have put space. So any character followed by space.
What does the double hash mean?
So double hash will do a greedy removal. So as much as possible. So the single hash removes only this, the smallest possible match. Double hash removes the largest possible match. So this is the largest possible match. Any character, any number of times followed by a /.
Okay, and the percentage.
Percentage is the suffix, right? So you can see the output here. The suffix it will remove from the right. So pattern will also flip, right? Because if I'm removing from the right, I want to remove the slash followed by any character. So if I do a single one, it will remove this part, slash followed by any character a number of times. So this will give you this home user document. And if I do greedily, this is the maximal match, slash followed by any character. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
we want a specific data type of input, then what we have to set, what condition we have to set in the
Don't really have data types in POSIX shells. The closest you can do in bash, you can do something like declare -i, if I'm not wrong, right? Yeah, num. But I'm not sure if this works with read. So for example, if I do read num, this should work. So if I run this, right? So this is 9. So if I give 1, 2, 3, it will give you 1, 2, 3. If I give something else, it will not take it. Right? It will give 0, which is default. So if you want to restrict to numbers, you can use declare -i. I think this was covered in your week 5, right? With your variables. So this way you can restrict it to numbers. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's quickly move on, because we have covered almost 1 hour in this. So let's move on to the other things. So I'll try to keep it a bit faster. So if you have still some doubts in one topic, maybe let's take it up at the end also, because I want to finish all the things we have in today. Okay.
Yes, sir. The awk and all will take time, sir. We can go a little faster.
Yes. Also in sed and awk, I will not cover everything, right? Because that will take a lot of time. I will only cover things important for the OPPE. So if you have doubts in other things, you can clarify in the other TS sessions also.
Yes.
But yeah, pardon me, I will not be covering everything there.
Okay. No, correct, sir. From OPPE point of view only, if you can concentrate on.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the next thing is the basic stream transformations, right? So like if you have some input, or it can be from a file also. If you want to do a very basic transformation, like change one letter with something, so we can use sed, but that is for like a more complex transformations with multiple characters and all. If I just want to, let's say, change one character with something else, we can use tr. Tr stands for translate or transform. So you can use it for single letter replacements or deletions. So for example, if I do very simple, like if I do tr a b, so what this will do, it's this will take from, okay, by the way, tr also takes from standard input. So it will take from standard in, and any character, so this will replace all of them, not just the first one. Any character a which is present, it will replace with b. So for example, if I do this one data search, so if I do hello, how are you? So here we have one a, this will become b. Okay, and tr does not take just a single line. This can take again infinite lines. Right, so I can keep on writing a for apple, something like that. Right, so you can see not just the first occurrence, but all occurrences will be replaced using tr. And same, you can press Ctrl D to stop giving input. Right, so this is useful if you are doing input here, but obviously you won't always be taking from the standard in. That is not that much helpful. But this is useful if you want to like take an input and make some transformation. So, for example,
sir, can we make it case sensitive with -i?
No, I don't think it is case sensitive. So if I give, let's say, AA, it will only take the lowercase one. If you use -i, I don't think -i is a valid flag for that. It is not a flag that it works. So TR is a very simple command. It has like 2-3 flags, that's all. So for other things, you can use sed. But what TR supports is it supports ranges. So for example, I can do A to Z, and I can do A to Z. So what this means, it will take this range of lowercase a to z, and it will change it to uppercase a to z. So it does like corresponding alphabet. So C will become C, D will become D, etc. So basically, it will convert everything to uppercase. And similarly, you can do the other way around also. So you can make it A to Z to A to Z. So it will make it everything lowercase. Right? And so it need not be the same characters also. So this is just one example. So this is changing to uppercase or lowercase. You can also make any range. So for example, what will be the first 13 characters? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Let me see. It will be 13, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. J. So what comes after that? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Right? So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is the 13th. Right? So these are the first 13 and the last 13 characters. So this also you can do. Like if the ranges are of same length, what you can do is you can say A to M and translate that to N to Z. So what this will do, it will convert all the A to M to N to Z, but it will not change anything that has N to Z. So for example, if I comment this out, so if I give like hello, how are you? So you can see the things that are less than M, like this HE, LL, these are being changed to the corresponding second half. But what is after M, like this O, this is not being changed. Right? So because I have only told to change A to M into N to Z. So this is not ideally what we want. So ideally what we will want is, yeah, I want this to become like this. Right? So I want A to become M, N, and then like that until M, it will become Z. And again, N will become A, something like that. Right? So this is something called the ROT13 or the Caesar cipher. Right? So it is a Caesar cipher, ROT13. So what this means is all the characters are rotated 13 times. So A becomes A plus 13, which is N, and like that. And again, all the other ones get wrap around, right? So Z becomes M. So to do that, what will be the command? Can anyone tell what I will write in TR? So this one was only doing for the first half, moving it to second half. I want to then move the second half to first half also.
We can write N to Z and then correspondingly give that A to M substitution on the second replacement string.
Okay, so what will I write?
TR, then first thing A dash M, then N dash Z,
and in one
N dash
quote.
Z, only in the first and second quote, N dash Z and A dash M.
Yeah, that will work. So that is a bit like longer than what we actually need to do, but this will also work. So what we are doing is so this is more explanatory, like people will understand this code better. So A to M will move to N to Z and N to Z will move to A to M. And so this will work. So if I now do this, so
A to Z will also work in the first
yes,
because it is the same.
Yes, exactly. So this you can simplify like this. So you can make it A to Z. So this is the same thing actually. So this is also 26 characters. This is also 13, 26 characters. So anything works. So this also works. So you can see you can use TR for these simple transformations. So ideally we don't do such complex things. We simply just transform a single character, but you can also do character range transformations like this.
But so for this, the character range has to be same.
Yeah, the length of the ranges has to be same. If it's not the same, let me see what happens. So let's say A to C. If I just translate it to X, will it work? Will it not work? Not sure.
This might work because it will convert everything to Z, X.
Yeah. This works. What if the other side is bigger, right? That also we can check. So if A I am translating to X to Z. So this, let me see. Yeah, so this what it will do is only A is being translated and it will only translate to X. So the other ones are ignored. So I think in both sides it will ignore any extra.
So
So
if we have
yeah.
in the first one, we can have 2 to 4, like
2 to
A
4.
to D.
A to D, yes.
And here maybe you can have 2 or more than 4, but not 4.
So you want more than 4, right? So let's say N to Z, what we were doing. So something like this.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it will, the A to D, it will go to the first 4. So N, O, P, Q. After, like, it will not give any error and it will not take anything after that. So if you're taking only 4, it will take only the first 4 of this range. So you can play around with this. Yeah.
But this TR is only for the input data, no?
Yeah, you can do it with file by doing a like this. Like any file, you can do input redirection and it will work on the file also.
Okay.
Yeah, but ideally it will take on the input. Now let me show another quick thing that TR can do. So TR can basically do 3 things. One is replacement. So it can do replacement that we saw. It can do deletion, and it can do squeezing. So the squeezing might not be that important. So we saw the replacement here, right? So this is TR replacement. Now let us see deletion. Okay, so you can also delete some characters. So for example, like we can use the -D flag to delete some characters. So you can either give one character. So for example, I can give something like, let's say, remove the character 2, or you can give a range also. So I can say 1 to 5, remove 1 to 5. Right? So if I run this.
Sir, how you uppercase that deletion by selecting in VS Code?
So I have a Vim plugin. So this is Vim. So I selected the word with VW and VW, or I think VE also works. Anyway, and then tilde. So the symbol below escape. So that changes the case.
So is there extension?
Yeah, it is a Vim extension.
Okay.
So from OPPE perspective, we will use these commands mostly for from redirection or echo command, right?
Because the in the OPPE, all your inputs will come from standard input, so you can use it directly. So you won't be given a file. In all the questions, you will given standard input, so you can directly use it like this. Yeah. So let's quickly see this. So here, let's say if I give all the numbers, so what will be the output here? Any guess?
6, 7,
1
8,
to
9.
5 will be deleted. 6, 7, 8,
Yes.
9, 0.
Yes, exactly. Right, so you can see anything in this, all the in this range, they will be directly removed, right? So it's not replaced with anything; it's totally removed from the input stream. So this can be useful. So for example, if you want to, so let's say I want to convert negative number to positive, right? So what is the easiest way to do this using TR?
So TR minus
delete minus.
Yes, it's a single thing. TR minus D minus. So this will simply remove the minus from the input. So if I say -1, 2, 3, 5, it will be 1, 2, 3. If I give a positive number, it will remain as it is. So if there is nothing to remove, it will not remove. But yeah, it will remove the negative sign. So this is a very quick way of removing negative numbers.
Sir, these are strings, right?
Yes.
Like, can we do operation using these?
Operations such as?
Plus, minus, multiply, arithmetic operations that we generally do.
Using
You
C
can
style you can do.
Using?
The C style syntax. Brackets.
Okay, yeah, that we can do. Yes. So in by default, the standard input is text. So this is also working on text. If you want, you can convert it into expression and give it to BC, for example. So let me show you a quick example. So okay, so let's say what I do is I do tr minus d. So I'm thinking of this on the fly. So I will remove the negative signs, right? And so I'll go through paste after this, but just bear with me for now. I'm just going to use paste here. Right. So what paste will do is, so let me show you step by step. Okay. So let me have a file here, input.txt. So in this file, I'll have a few numbers. So 12, 52, 23, negative 36, something like this. Okay. And so what I'm doing is, if I run this 3.sh and I give the input.txt, oh, it's also inside. Or let me put this directly in the code. That will be easier. Input.txt. Right. So if I run this, so why is there no input.txt? I've saved this.
So for any 123 sh file, you are not making it executable, but still it's working. How?
I'm running it with bash directly. So I'm not doing /. If I run it /, then it will not work. If you give it to bash, then it works without making it executable.
Okay, it's like source. The bash
Yes,
is working
similar,
like...
but it'll run in a separate subshell, not like source. It will not do it in your same subshell.
Okay.
But yeah, it will not need. Okay, let me get rid of this for now. Let me just pass it when I'm running the script. Okay. So here you can see this is simply removing the minus signs. So ideally, originally this had minus signs in few numbers that we have removed. Now I can use paste minus s. So what minus s will do? This same line, like is the single file that we're giving, this stream, it will take and it will put all the lines side by side. So now instead of being separate lines, this is side by side. It is separated by a tab. And now I can change, instead of tab, I can make the delimiter something else. So I can make it plus, for example. So now instead of being separated by tabs, this is separated by plus. Right? And now if I pass it to BC, for example, I'll get the solution. So this is the sum of this. So usually if you can create an expression, then you can just pass it to BC and BC will give you the solution.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Right, so let us just go through this. This I just showed you because you asked this. So I'll come to paste separately after this. But yeah, you can use the minus D to remove something, and it may not be just a single thing. So for example, I can remove multiple things also. So for example, let's say I'm removing all the 0 to 9. I can remove using the minus D. So if let's say I want to sanitize my input, right, and I don't want any number in my input, right, so this will help me remove that. So I can say remove any character in this range and it will remove that. So remember that this is actual characters. These are not numbers. So you cannot do something like 0 to 11. Because what this means is this does not mean 0 to 11. So if I run this, any expectation, what will be the output?
So it will remove 1 and 0.
Yeah, it will just remove 1 and 0. Right? So this is because this means 0 to 1 and this means 1. So they're the same thing. So this means remove only 0 to 1. So these are not numbers. So you can only put it till 9 because these are single characters. Right? And so now it will work. So if I give any number, it will remove them and only the non-number part will remain. But this is also sometimes not enough because the user can enter any symbol also. Right, so I don't want these symbols also. I only want the, let's say, lowercase or the uppercase, something like that. So that you can do using the complement. So it's
Alpha.
no, so there's a separate flag for this in TR called C. So this means whatever I'm giving, you take the complement of that. So here what I mean is A to Z. Right? So any character that is not A to Z, that you drop. So this will be easier for us. I don't have to mention all the characters. I can just say A to Z and everything else you drop. So here you can see I can give characters, I can give this, I can get uppercase. And why is it not printing anything? Oh, even the new line, it got dropped. Okay, that is one issue. But yeah, I can see after you give Control D that only this part, which is A to Z, that is remain. Everything else, the numbers, the characters, the uppercase, those are dropped. So this is one small addition to -D. So you can do -D directly, or you can do -CD. So it will complement the range. Right? But usually we'll just use this -D to drop something from our input.
So why is this that percentage is remaining?
Oh no, this percentage, this is not part of output. This is my shell. It is telling that there is no new line here. So if I do it in bash, it won't be there. I'll show it quickly. It's you can see there's no new line. No, after the output directly the prompt is there. So my shell shows a percentage instead of that. Okay, so let's move ahead. So this was just TR, how to use TR. You can go to man TR to see. So there is not actually that many flags. You can see there is only C, S, D, all this, right? So C is the complement and D deletes and S squeezes. So what this will do, if there is multiple consecutive occurrences of something, it will replace that with just one occurrence. So for example, if I do squeeze A, and here if I do hello A, so the multiple occurrences will be converted to a single occurrence. So this is also useful sometimes, especially if you want to squeeze multiple space into a single space. Yeah, so you can go through TR how it works, but these are the ones we usually use more.
Sir, that S command can be used even for capturing unique outputs, right? Like
No, but it will only remove consecutive duplicates, not overall.
Okay.
So here if I do BA, it will be like this.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's take a 5 minutes break, then I'll resume with this folding and unfolding. Okay. Yeah. Back. So hopefully there's no doubts still here or anything we covered before. Okay. So this one, folding and unfolding. So there's a lot of things in grep. So again, I'll not go through everything. I'll just show this one concept of folding and unfolding. And so there we can use multiple things. One is fold, and also we can use grep -1. So I'll only show this part of using grep. So what you can do with grep. And also for unfolding, we'll see how paste can be used. So let me create a folder for that. Okay, so what? So hopefully I'm audible. So what folding means is simply if there is one line, I can break that into multiple lines. So for example, if I give fold W5, so what this means is break the line with 5 characters. So if there is more than 5 characters, it will insert a new line after the 5th character. So it's easiest to if we just see what is happening. So if I give something like this, hello, how are you? So you can see it is breaking. Right? So the first 5 characters are printed, then a new line is added. So because I've told width is 5, so it is adding a new line, and then the space it is preserved. So you can see the space is still preserved, and then we have HOW. Then again we have the space. So that is a total of 5 characters. Then again we have a new line, and then ARE space Y 5 characters. Then again a new line. Right? So this is a way of folding lines by a fixed width. So if I know I always want to break after 5 characters, then this is useful. So there are some cases where this is used. So not always, but in some cases, this is useful for breaking a line into fixed widths. So you can see the man page of fold. So this also has very little parameters. So W is the width I provide. So by default, it will use 80 characters. But also we can provide any width. So here I have given 5 characters, but by default it is 80. You also have like -b. So there are some characters in Unicode like emojis and all. No? So the emojis, it is counted as 1 character. But if you want to but they are like multiple bytes, or 2 bytes or 3 bytes. So if you instead of counting by characters, if you want to count by bytes, then this is used. So again, this is not important for us that much. And yeah, so this one is again another thing that you might require. So that is if you want to fold line after the last blank character. So what happens is if you, let's say I want to fold in 5 characters, but I don't want to break a word. So if I give a S here, what this will do is it will try to break before also if there is a space. So if I do again, so you can see. So here you can see it is actually trying to preserve the word. So if we have a word which itself is greater than 5, then like it cannot help, it will break that word. But here, as you can see, all the words are less than 5. So it is not breaking always at 5 characters. So it can break before also. So first one it breaks, okay. Second one, it again breaks as we expected. The third one, it did not go ARE space Y and then break. So it broke before that. Just after ARE space, it broke because there's a space here. So I can break here and we have one word in a line. And then the next word I can get in another line. Right, so this is one way of quickly folding a line into multiple lines. Yeah.
So this was because of
how is printed like this?
One by one. Yeah. So what is your doubt? How is it
So
printed?
how is printed like a space to the left?
Oh, because see, hello is 5 characters, no? So I have hello with a space here. So these are 6 characters. So this is, I have given width as 5. So it is breaking at hello itself. So this space also comes into the next line. This is space HOW. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Someone else has.
Yes, sir. Sir, this because the word. Can you go to the screen back? This happened because of -s, is it?
Yes. Let me show you. Yes. So what -s will do is will fold line after the last blank character within the first width columns position. So like I want to keep the lines at max 5 characters. So without s, it will always be 5 characters. But with s, it can also be less. If there is a space before that, it will fold.
So can we see the man for W as well?
Yeah.
By length. Okay.
Yeah. So this is a very simple command. It has like 2 flags, like 3 flags total, 2 mostly used flag. So this is useful. So for example, if you have some fixed width or almost fixed width, like you want to fold it, then this is useful. But so this was fixed width folding. But there's another way of doing that is dynamic width. So if you don't know how long each token is going to be, but you know that there's a pattern that you want to find, and you want each of those patterns to be in separate lines. Right? So here we won't actually have the entire contents of the line, but rather just all the matches of the line. So this I hope you already know. You can use grep O. Right? So for example, here if I give A to Z, and in regex you have to put the square brackets also. In TR we did not do that, but in regex you have the square brackets also. So here what will happen is if I do 2.sh, why is there no 2.sh? Oh, we are in the wrong folder. Sorry. Yeah. So here, let's say I have hello, how are you? So you can see each word is of separate, like different length, right? So this is 5, this is 3, 3, 3. So I'm not mentioning any width. I'm just telling. Oh, sorry. I have to also put a star here. So I'm just mentioning match any lowercase character and as many characters as possible. Right? So what this will do is this will match all of these. So this is one match, this is one match, this is one match, and this is one match before this question mark. And the minus O will print them in separate lines. So hello is printed, how is printed. So you can see here we don't have any width constraint. So even if I have a very big word, right, so it'll take as long as possible. So here we're not specifying any width, just that it has to be a lowercase character. So anywhere that lowercase stops, so it'll take the biggest match. So it'll keep on matching, and whenever there is not a lowercase, this entire thing will become a match, and that will be printed.
So we are using grep, then why it is breaking the lines after spaces?
Because we are using the minus O, right? So we are extracting only the matched patterns in separate lines. So you can see what the O does. You can do man grep. Here you can see only minus O is only matching, right? So it will only print the matching part of the lines, and it also prints in separate lines. So that is not mentioned there directly, but yeah. So what it will do is each match it will print on separate lines.
If we not use the star, then it will print each character line.
Each character, yes, exactly. So this will print each character. Let me show that. Only the character. So the space and the question mark won't be there. So only the characters it will print one by one. So this is also useful if you want to just extract all the characters. You can do it this way. So okay, can you think of how we can use? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so in this hello, how are you? Why it is printing each character one by one, but in previous example it was printing word by word.
So
Okay, I know. There was
the star. Yeah, the star means take the biggest match. So this entire thing is matching. But without this is just match one character. So each of these, like H is a match, E is a match, L is a match, and each character is printing one by one.
Okay.
And if it encounters a capital letter or a special character in this input, then what does it do? It splits it there itself?
Yeah, so it will not consider that. So you can see it will only take the lowercase ones, E, L, L, O.
Okay.
Yeah, and okay, I think you were asking about this one with star. So yeah, there also it will split it there. So I can show you this one. So here you can see only the lowercase, as much as possible, the lowercase will be taken.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing I thought of when we were seeing this, right? So here you saw it will split it into the single characters. So can you think of a way how using this and maybe some other commands I can find the frequency of all the letters I have in input?
So word count.
WC minus L.
So WC minus L count we can use.
So this minus L, what this will do, it will tell you the total number of lowercase letters I have. So okay, that is close. So what this will do is, yeah, so it's giving 14. So this is number of lowercase letters, but I don't want this. I want frequency of each letter. So H, it should come.
-C.
No, -C also same thing. No, it will
-W.
No. So it's not just with grep. So the first part we have already done. So what this will do is it will extract each letter as a separate line. Now, if I feed this to some other command, how can I get frequency of each of these? Any idea? So you might have already used that.
As
Sorry?
Sort and count.
Yes, right. So first, if we do sort, what this will do is all the characters will come one after the other, and then we can use the unique
Hyphen
unique
or
minus c.
unique hyphen c.
Yeah, so this will count each character. So let me show that. So here you can see it will tell you the frequency of all this. So O is present 3 times, L is present 2 times, H is present 2 times, E is present 2 times. So this is printed in the order of occurrence, I think. Or no, sorry, it is like in the alphabetical order because we sorted first. No? So it is in alphabetical order.
So sorting
How?
is must to get this frequency count?
Because unique only works with sorted input. Unique does not work without sorted input. So
Here we can also use na minus SW. We have previously seen.
Minus
SW.
In grep.
No, we have previously done like occurrence, consecutive occurrence we can get with that.
That was in TR, no? That, the
Here we
minus
can't
S.
use. Here we
No,
can't
no, no,
use TR.
no, that yeah, you can use TR. So this I am showing with grep how you can do. So you can first extract each character, then you can sort it so you get it alphabetically. Then unique C, it will show you the count of each character.
I
Yeah.
am asking in place of unique.
In place of, so it will unique shows you the count. No, TR will simply remove the, also TR removes it when it is side by side, not next line. So this is line by line. So TR will not do it line by line. It will do side by side. So for example, if you do TR minus SA, so it will remove line, like if it is side by side. If you have multiple lines of the same thing, it will not remove. Okay. Okay, just so I don't want to take this very long, but just to end this, how can I now have this in the descending order of the frequency? So instead of having it in the alphabetical order of the letters, I want the counts descending order.
Sort
against minus t.
Yeah, I can again do sort and I can do NR. Right? So N means I want to treat these numerically. So if there is something like 11, 11 should be greater than 9. So it's not a letter, it's not a character, it's number. And R for reverse sorting. So it's in the descending order. So yeah, now you can say it's in the descending order of the frequency. Right? So anyway, so this we went on a tangent here. So what we are actually wanting to discuss is how you can dynamically fold. So let me comment this. But yeah, how we can dynamically fold with using grep. So any pattern that you can think of, you can use in grep, and that will basically split the line using those patterns. Yeah.
So is there any way to count the words, sir?
Count the number of words. Yeah, that you can do with WCL, no? This will help you. So you have 4 words.
Sir, in the previous command, if we write A to Z star, then also it counts the frequency of words.
Yes, then it will count the frequency of words. Yes. So you can see that. If I do A to Z star, then it is extracting the words. Then I'm the rest of the part remains exactly the same. I'm sorting the words, I'm counting unique words, and I'm printing. So let me comment this. Sorry. Yeah. So if I do this, then you can see it gives you the frequency of the words. Yep. Yeah. Good catch.
So without star, if we do WC minus L, it will give the letter count, but not the frequency of each letter.
Yes, it's total number of lowercase letters it will give you, but not the frequency. Yes, so or not the number of unique letters, but yeah, it will give you the. So if I remove this, this will give you the total number of letters, which is 17. Right, and if you want the word count, you can use the star. Okay, so let's wrap this up. So now we have seen 2 ways of folding. Right? And now let us quickly also see how to unfold. So we saw this earlier, but let me just show it this again. So if you have any input that is multiple lines and you want to put them in a single line, you can use paste. So unfolding using paste. So for example, hopefully you're familiar with this command seq. This will just create numbers from 1 to a given number. So seq 50, yeah, sequence, yes. It'll print the numbers 1 to 15 in separate lines. Or if I do 1 to 5, 1 to 6, so it'll print all these in separate lines. So what I can do is I can use that and I can then put them in the same line. So this seq I'm just using for my input. Okay, this is not what we are seeing here, but yeah, now I can use paste, right? So what are these flags? If I go into man paste, so the minus d tells you what delimiter to use. So here you can actually give multiple delimiters, and for each token it will use the corresponding delimiter, but usually we just give one, so it will just use that one for all of them. I'll also show if what happens if you give multiple. And the -s, so paste actually works with two files or multiple files together. So for example, if I have let's say I have input1.txt and input2.txt. So you can see the files that I have. Input 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right. So if I do paste input 1, input 2, what this will do is it will put them side by side. Right? So the first file on the left, the second file on the right, and not just two. You can give any number of inputs. So it will all put them all side by side, and they are separated by default with tab. So if you want, you can also change that. You can do -d with any delimiter. So I've put comma here. So then it will put them, separate them with comma. Right? And however, if you want to do it on a single file, right? If you want to just do it on this one file, so currently this is not doing anything, right? So you can see it is just printing nothing because you just have one file. But if you use -s, it will treat that file itself and read each line and put it side by side. So that is what the -s does. So this is what we are doing here. So I'm taking the first 6 letters, numbers, and I'm putting them side by side, and I am separating them with a comma. So if I run this, so you can see I am getting the numbers side by side. So this can be used not just with like numbers. If you have anything that you originally folded, you can then again unfold. So for example, so this is one example. Let me create another file here. So let's see what we did earlier, right? So we did grep -o a to z. Right? So what this is doing, it's extracting the words into separate lines. So if I give hello, how are you, question mark, maybe some other symbol here. Right? So what it is doing is it is extracting only the words. And now if I want to again put it in a single line, I can then use paste. So, and not comma, what I can do is I can make it space. Right? So because it's a space, I had to put it in a quotes so that it understands it's a space that I want as a separator. Right? So now if I do this, you can see this basically did the same thing as like removing any special character, but it did it in 2 steps, right? So the first step extracted all of these words in separate lines, and the second step, it then again put it together as one line. So you can change the delimiter also. Instead of space, you can make it comma. So then you have a comma separated list of all the words that you have in your this input.
So and what is the use case for this?
So this is one such use case, right? So you can take the input, and here, so we are extracting words. So this is a simple thing, but you can like think of any regex pattern, right? So hopefully you're familiar with the regex patterns, and you can extract any pattern. So for example, you want to, let's say, extract any HTML tags in a HTML file. Right? So you can give the pattern for a HTML tag, and it will extract all those tags in a separate line. And then you can put them together in a same line like this. Right. So for example, another thing we can do, so I'm just showing how you can combine these things together, right? So this split the words in a separate line. Now let's say we did that same thing, right? So I did sort and then I did unique, or I can directly do sort -u. So what this is doing is it is removing duplicates. So I take all the words, put it in separate lines, I take only the unique words, right? So I remove the duplicates. Then I again put them in the same line. So now, for example, if I, let's say, have the same word multiple times, you can see all the duplicates are removed. I just have the unique words in a comma separated list. So each command is doing just one small thing, so we know what it is doing, but we can just like pair them together using pipes, and then we can like get any custom output we want. So this part is just extracting each word. This is just sorting them and removing all the duplicates, and this is again putting them in one same line. So this is just one example of how we can use folding, unfolding using paste. So let me know if you have any doubts in this topic.
For removing duplicates, we only have unique and sort minus u.
Yeah, so sort minus u is same as sort pipe unique. This is same as sort minus u, just sort minus u. So what it will do is it will first sort the input like each line, and then it will remove any duplicates. So only a single occurrence of each word will be there. Right? Okay, so let's move on to
Okay, so my doubt is regarding the sed scripts. Like inside the sed or org scripts, aren't we allowed to use any kind of Linux commands like cut, grep, etc.?
No. If you are asked to write a sed script, it will be executed as a sed script. So inside you can only put the sed expressions. You cannot run any other command.
And also one thing, sir, inside the sed scripts, while selecting the patterns, can we use the regex pattern like the dash capital E?
Okay, extended regex. Right? So no, you cannot change how it is called. So for example, in your question, okay, let me create a folder. It'll sorry. Yeah. So usually in your question, it will be told that your script will be run as follows, and it will be given something like this. So wait. Okay. It will be, where is this treated as a HTML file? This is not HTML file.
So for MPP question, it is not given.
Yeah, it was not given. I think we have added it now. So for some people, it was causing confusions. NPP is actually taken from last term's OPP, but yeah, this term's OPP it will be given. So it will be given something like this. So and then so it will be told to you. So if it is given like this, sed minus f, so that means you cannot use extended regex. But if let's say minus e is given to you, then you can use extended regex in your script. So it depends on how it is called. You inside the script you cannot change that.
So I should always we should always stick to using without extended regex.
No, so if the question is told that it will run in extended regex, then if you use BRE, then it will break. No? So you have to see how the question is running your script. Same way you have to write. So if it is running with extended regex, you can use ERE.
Yeah. Okay.
So
this was in NPP4, right?
Yes, in NPP4 it is running without extended regex. So you have to escape if you want to use any ERE syntax.
And so they are the P has always to be mentioned in every sed script, right?
Yes. So that is again something I want to come to. So if your minus n is given, right, in your sed script, like if it's told it will be run like this, minus n. So minus n means by default no lines is printed. So in your sed script, if you're doing any addressing or any substitution, so in the end you have to give a p. So that means you are forcing that line to be printed, because by default it is not printed. So you have to force that line to be printed using /p. So this is like two different ways of running your sed scripts. So you would have gone through this when you went through sed in week 8. So if minus n is not given, then all lines are printed by default. And then if you want to not print some line, so there you can like do some regex, and there you can drop that line. So you can say if any line matches this regex, drop that line. So there you can do that. And normal substitution you can do as expected. So this is if minus n not given. However, if minus n is given, then this means that the set script will not print any line by default. So then you have to basically, if you want to print any line, you have to match that. Like this was matching the inverse of like all the lines you don't want to print. Here you have to match that line and you have to print it. And the substitution you can do as you're doing. Or if this substitution runs for all lines, you can directly put the P here and remove this also. So both are fine. Right, so this you have to notice, like how is your script run? Is it run without n or with n?
So if options in the .set file do not matter. In the interpreter line which we give, they do not matter. Basically.
They do not matter. Yes.
How the command is executed, that takes precedence.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So if it was like run this way, no /script.set, then your interpreter's flags will be used. But we don't run it that way. We run like this, no? So that's why that is ignored.
Understood.
Okay, sir. So that's why we did not to mention any kind of flags in those scripts, right?
Yes.
I was making an error.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll come to sed after this, but yeah, let's finish this. Yeah.
Sir, if they are using some other option like -f instead of -n instead of sed -f, they have to mention in question, no? But they not mentioned in anywhere in question that they are using sed -nf.
Yeah, I think that is added now. You can check now. I think that is added.
Yes, I told yesterday Subandhu sir also.
Yeah. No, it is for a current NPP, it is there. Sorry, for the current OPP, it is there. It will be there. For the NPP, I think it was not there. Now they have added it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. What is this?
And one more thing, sir. In OPP VM, tree command is not working, sir. It's showing not. Tree command is not available.
Yeah, I think tree is not installed there.
So last OPP it was there.
Yeah, if the questions require you to use tree, it will be installed. If it is not required, then it is not installed. You don't have to worry about that.
Sir, just a simple question, sir. The questions, the OPP questions, the OPP would be harder or on same level as the NPP?
I think it's similar level. It won't be harder. You can expect like it cannot be like the exact same difficulty, but yeah, it's in the similar level. It won't be harder.
So those questions, NPP questions, are almost similar to given in the what is given in the OPP, as well as some of the questions that ma'am did in just one session, just to show what OPP question looks like.
Yeah, the NPP question is last term's OPP question.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's quickly wrap this up. Okay, so let's move into bash scripts, right? So again, I am assuming that you guys are already familiar with bash scripts, so I won't go into all the tiny details. Scripts.
So just one question.
Yeah.
Which synchro eval will be considered final in the OPP? Let's say we do a synchro eval, it passes. And I make some change and I do a synchro eval and it fails. So
no, I think the last one is taken. The last one. So even if it fails, you can undo and run it again. So the last one will be taken.
Okay. So latest eval is because when I did synchro status on NPP questions, he's showing me all my evals run.
Yeah, that all of them are stored. Yes.
Stored. Okay.
But the last one is considered.
Okay, latest one submission is considered.
Yeah. Okay. So we have actually seen this how we can use BC and EXPR. So let me move forward to shell scripting. So hopefully all of you are familiar with how to write a shell script. You can have the shebang. Ideally, you don't need the shebang, but yeah. Usually in shell scripts, you will add the shebang. For the OPP, you don't have to worry about that. So even if you don't give the shebang, this will work. But yeah, if you are running something like /script.sh, the your interpreter will take this first line to find which interpreter to run the script with. So if you're running from bash without having this also works, but ideally this will basically tell it whatever it is running to run this in bash. So we won't be focusing that much on shellman because it's not required in your OPP. So, and you can execute scripts with bash script.sh. So that is what we have been doing for so long. In this, I won't go into much detail. So let's quickly look into the loops, right? So while loops and for loops. So the simplest loop is the while loop. So we already saw this. So I can do while read line. I can do something like this. Right? So this will the while loop will run as long as the command that you give. So unlike other programming languages where in while you give a Boolean expression, and if it is true, it is run. If it is false, it stops. Here you give a command, right? So it is never a condition. It is always a command. And if the command is run successfully, then this loop will continue running. But if this command fails, then this loop will stop. So I'll give you a very simple example. So while let's say I do ls, so ls will always give success, right? So I can do something like that, and let me give a sleep, otherwise that it will print a lot of times, but you don't need the sleep, right? So if I run this, so okay, why is this not working? Okay, I'm in the wrong file. Wrong folder. That's why. Yeah, so you can see it's the output of ls is coming, and then the echo hello is coming, and this is keeping on looping. Right? This is because every time I'm running the ls, this is running successfully. Because ls is just printing the contents of your folder. So this is running successfully, and the while loop is keeping on working. Right? But if let's say instead of doing ls, I do ls and then some file that is not there, so then this will not work. This will fail, and if the command fails, then the while loop will stop. So you can see you'll get cannot access this, no such file or directory. Right? So I'll also give another example. So let me create another file. So now let's say I do I have like let's say file is empty string. So I'll do while ls file, and then I can update the file every time. So I can say read file, right, and enter file name. Right, so if I run this, first time it'll because this is empty, so I'm basically running ls with no params. So ls is printing all the files in my current directory. So it's telling I have 1.sh, I have 2.sh, right? And now it is going inside the loop because this command is run successfully. So then I'm getting echo enter file name, and then this read is waiting for my input. So here if I do 1.sh, so this file variable is now updated with 1.sh. Next time again when this like for while loop starts, so then I get while ls 1.sh. So that file is also existing. So this will simply just print 1.sh, and again this, because this is not giving any error, this will again go inside the loop. Right? So you can see I wrote 1.sh, it printed again 1.sh. Right? So this is because it is printing what is there. And again, it is asking me for file name. So I can give 2.sh. Again, it will print 2.sh and come back inside the loop. Here, if I now give some file that is not present, you can see ls will give you error, cannot access. So this is the error because file is not there. And then the loop stops, right? So I'm again back into my shell. So I think you can understand this better if I give a ls minus l. So the input output will be a bit different. Yeah, so you can see it is telling you, okay, in your current directory you have two files, 1.sh, 2.sh. So if I give 1.sh, it will show me the details of 1.sh. If I give 2.sh, it will show me details of 2.sh. If I give some file that does not exist, it will break. So what this means is while loop will execute this command given after while in each iteration. And if this command is successful, it will go inside the loop. If it is failure, then the loop will stop.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So every time you run this ls in a while, will it print the entire set of files in a directory, or Is it some?
No, depends
Why?
on the argument. So if you don't give any argument, then it will print all the files. If you give an argument, it will print only that file. So that is what we are doing. So the first run, it is printing all the files.
My mistake. I will try to explain again. Why is it printing the entire list the first time?
Yeah, because this file variable is empty, right? So what I am running, ls minus l, and then nothing. So ls minus l by default will print all the files. From the next time onwards, this variable will have name of some file. So then it will print only that. So you can try it directly. So if you do ls, it will print all the files.
That is
if you
clear.
do ls and then some file name, then it will print only that file.
That is also clear. What I am actually a little confused about is why is it printing like if I say while ls do, when without a variable, it will not do anything. Will it know what to do?
Yeah, it will print all the files every time. Yes.
It will print? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that is what we saw earlier, no? If we did not have this, this is what we saw earlier, one.sh. So you can see it's printing all the files in each iteration.
Okay. You cannot suppress the print?
Yeah, you can do that. So same as redirection, no? You can redirect this to def null. Then it will just print the what is inside.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think someone is trying to join. Okay. Okay, one small other thing that I'll go through quickly. So because most of us are used to using true and false in while loops, no? So things like while true, so that we create an infinite loop, and then inside in some condition I can set it to false, like I can do a break. So to support that, what we have is we have a command. So this is not actually a Boolean expression. This is also a command. So we have a command called true. And what this command will do is this will not print anything. This will simply exit with an exit code of 0. And similarly, we have a command called false, which will again not print anything, but this will always exit with an exit code of not 0. Right? So this can be used like if I want to do while true or while false, we can do that. So that is a way of emulating how we do it in other languages. So this will keep on printing. So this is an infinite loop. So if I do bash 3.sh, you can see this is keeping on printing. So it's I'm sleeping 2 seconds, but it'll run forever. So this is one way of writing an infinite loop. Okay. Let us now quickly go through the for loop also. So hopefully you're aware of for loops. Right? In Python also we have for loops. So in bash you can do two types of for loop. One is the C style and another is the Python style. So what do I mean by that? So Python style means for x in y. Right? So where y is like a iterable, x is a variable. And in C style you can do something like for and then initialization condition increment. This is how we do it in C, Java, etc. So in C style, let us see the Python style first. This is usually what we use most. Here it is something like this: for I in something, do and then done. So this variable I will take the value in each iteration, and if I run this, so you can see it is like in each iteration I'm just printing this one line. And I can use the variable. So the I in each iteration is taking the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So this is again a bash syntax. Right? It's a brace expansion. So you would have already used this in your BPTs. So 1.5, what this will do, it will expand to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So instead, you can also directly put the things you want to iterate over. So for example, if I simply put, let's say 3 words, this will iterate over these 3 words. Sorry. So now you can see it is iterating over each 3 words. This is splitting by space. And each time the variable I will contain the current token that it is iterating over. Yeah.
Sir, this brace expansion, can we use it to create directories and subdirectories also?
Yes. Yes, that you have done in your BPTs, no? Yes, that is possible.
Yes, that's what I mentioned.
Yes, same thing. It is the same thing. So you can use to expand to. So it is this like it when you do this, this basically expands to this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Yes.
you can put it here. So if you put for I in 1, 2, 3,
No,
4,
no.
5, it's
My question
yeah.
is actually like here we can use 1 to 5, okay? But means if I want to have like nested loops, right? So can I do like this? Like for I in 1 to 5, then again a bracket 1 to 5. So 1 1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4 1 5 loop
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
You
that
can
that will work. So no, it'll not be nested, but it will basically create all the combination of 1 to 5. So basically 1 to 15, then 21 to 25, 31 to 35, like that.
Mhm.
So this is
Okay,
a,
so it
this
will not be nested. Means like I can't use it for nesting loops. Okay.
no. Like if you want to do nesting of loops, you can do it directly. So for example, I can do for I in 1 to 5, and then I can do for j in 1 to 5. So this is fine. You can do that.
Oh.
So if I run
Sir,
this,
does indentation matters in this loops?
no, in Bash in general, indentation does not matter. So we usually do it so that it looks good, but it does not matter. So what is important is this semicolon, this do, and then this done. So instead of semicolon, you can also put this do in the next line. So that is a style preference. Some people like to do it this way. So you don't have this, and then you put it in a separate line. So this is also a valid syntax, and this is also valid syntax. Just make sure you're familiar with the syntax. Right? So in the for loop, you can do it this way. So now let me ask you one thing. So let's say I want to do this nesting, right? So let me copy this. I want to do this like two variables next nesting, but the outer one I want to go from 1 to 5. The inner one I want to go from 1 to the value of I. So like when I is 1, I will only do one iteration. Like j will just be 1. When I is 2, j should be 1 and 2. Right? So basically I want to do it 1 dot I. Right? So how can we do that? Is this fine? Will this work?
Yes, sir. I think it should work.
$I.
$I will work.
Okay, let's try both of them. So if I do this, you can see this is not working. Right? So it's not expanding. If I use $I, then also you will see it is not so the variable is put in there, but it is not expanding. So it just becomes for j in 1 dot dot 1, 1 dot dot 2. So this is not expanding. Right? So I'm not getting the nesting. So for that, if you like this brace expansion works for only static numbers. So if you give the number directly, it will work. It doesn't work with variables. Right? So one way to do that, you can use the seq command that we saw already. Right? So the seq command, if you remember, if you give seq 1 5 or 1 6, it will give you the numbers from 1 to 6, or you can remove the 1 also. If you just give seq 6, it will give you the numbers 1 to 6. So that you can do. You can use for j in and then command execution seq I. So this will work. So now if you run this, you can see when I is 1, I'm just getting j is 1. When I is 2, I'm getting the 2 iterations. J is 1, J is 2. When I is 3, I'm getting 3 iterations. J is 1, J is 2, J is 3. Right? For 4, I'm getting 4, and for 5, I'm getting 5. And so hopefully this is clear how we can do nesting and variable length. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, we
So
can use backcode in order to print that I variable.
we can use
Backcode, sir, on tilde key.
okay, so instead of this, you want the backticks, right?
Yeah, like in previous case, what was happening? One dot 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 I $I. Then at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, you can run it this way also. It is the same thing, but we use this because this is like easier to understand. But yeah, backticks also works instead of command execution. Right, so let me quickly end this with so what we can do now that we know how to do this. So now, for example, let's say I have this, and what I want is so I don't want to print it this way. I want to print a pattern. Right? So what I want is I want to like print 1. So yeah, and then I want to print 2, then I want to print 3, and then I want to print 4, and then I want to print 5. So how can I do that in this? So what changes can I make? Very simple, like pattern printing. I think you would have done this in Python, right? Many times.
Sir, inside loop J, print
Yeah.
only I.
Yes, so you can, instead of echo, what you have to do is you have to use printf, so that you don't print the new line, or you can use echo minus n, so it will not print the new line, and you can print $I. Right? So what this will do is it will not put the new line. So every time you will print the just the outer number, and then after the inner loop is done, you want to print a new line, right? So you can do that with just an echo. So if I run this, you get this output. Okay? 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. Let me know if this was clear or you have any doubts in this, how this is working.
सर ये जो जे वाला जो लूप है जो आपने लगाया उसमें वो ऑटोमेटिकली अंडरस्टैंड कर रहा है कि वो 1 से शुरू करना है और I तक जाना है.
Yes, sec by default, if you give one param, it will start from 1 and it will go till that param. So it's going till I because I've given sec $I.
और अगर हम लोग को डिक्रीजिंग में जाना है 5 to 1 जाना है उस टाइप
Then
से
you have to do the sec $I, which is the starting index, then the step, which is -1, and then the ending index. So remember, this is a bit different from the Python's range. So in Python range, if you have 3 parameters, this is start, end, and then step. But in bash sec, it is start, step, and then end. So just keep this in mind. You don't usually use this, but yeah, if you run this now, you can see. Okay, why is this still the same? Okay, yeah, the output remains the same, right? Because whether you go from 1 to I or you go from I to 1, the number of characters is printed the same. But yeah, if I now change this to J, you can see. Right, so it's 1 2 1 3 2 1 4 3 2 1 5 4 3 2 1. It's going in the reverse.
So we can also do like putting two brackets and then write it as C syntax. Like if
that is the other way you can write loops. So that also will come to. So let me remove this. So this is like, if instead of printing I, if I print J, this is the output. So hopefully you're familiar with how patterns work. You can do other different combinations of this and try this out. Yeah. So let us see the C syntax, right? As you said. So yeah, so I can do for I equals like this, right? So this is also easier for some people to understand. So I can do for I equals 1, I is less than 5, I plus plus. And then, so if you have done C or Java or any C++, those, this should be very familiar to you. Just instead of single bracket, we use double brackets. So this first part is your initialization. This is run once. This is your condition. We check it every time we want to rerun the loop. And this is the increment. This is also done every time we are doing the loop. So this basically goes from 1 to 5 and increases by 1 every time. This goes from 1 to I and increases by 1 every time. And so this is again the same output. So if you do 8.sh, you can see the.
So instead of do or done, we can use braces also, like C and Java.
No, do is still required. This is part of the syntax. You have to do for and then you have to do. Yes. Yeah, and also like if you want, you can print the some other pattern also. So that is totally up to you what you're printing. But like you can run nested loop and like you can change the number of iterations of each inner loop based on the outer loop this way. So hopefully this is clear.
Sir, in Linux, do or done is working like a opening and closes braces of
yes
loop.
Yes
all.
Yeah, and so this indicates start of the loop, everything inside, because we don't enforce indentation, no. So we don't know when the body of the loop is done. So this is also valid bash. So if you run this also, you'll get same output. So because we don't enforce indentation, we need a way to know when the for loop starts, when it ends. So that is why. So do means start of the loop, done means end of the loop. So this is the inner loop, and then this is the outer loop. Yeah. So let me see, did we cover everything? Yeah, this also we have covered. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
if suppose there is some variable, if we want to restrict its scope from the rest of the program, then we use do or done or use braces.
Do or done won't work. I think braces, I'm not sure if braces works actually. Let me check. So for example, you're telling inside brace I put a equals 5. Here I do echo a, and then outside also I do echo a. Inside it should work, outside it should not work. That is what you're asking. Okay, let's see if this works. No, this doesn't work because this will not change the scope. However, I think if you make it a subshell, this might work. Let me see. Yeah, so you can see if you make it a subshell using round bracket, then inside the subshell the variable that is defined, outside it is not propagated. So inside it is printing, outside it is not printing. Yeah, you can use these round brackets. Okay,
so in that case we have to export it.
Yeah, export only works from parent shell to subshell. No, it doesn't work from subshell to parent shell.
Oh yes, correct.
Yeah, see, for security you can never, a child shell can never change variables in parent shell, because otherwise if you run something it can change something in the parent. So you can only do from the parent till child.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, let me just show one last variation of this, then we'll stop this one. So obviously, if you know how to iterate over the loops and all, just like printing, you can also store it. Right? So you can say sum equals something, let's say I plus j. So any mathematics you want, you can do. So it depends on the question. And like here you can see, right? So you're getting this 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So, or let's say you can just make it sum equals sum plus j. So I'm keeping on adding the numbers. So 1 I get 1, the 2 I get 4, because it is it's keeping on increasing also. So if I set sum to 0 each time, then you will see like I had 1, 3, 6, 10. So for the first line it is 1, so that is 1. Second line it is 1 plus 2, then it is 1 plus 2 plus 3, and then 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, and 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. That's any like mathematics you want, you can do inside, because you know the value of I and the value of j. So you can do these things. So similarly, if you do, let's say with I, you will get 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. So this looks
Sir,
familiar,
I
right?
have a
These are the
question here.
square numbers. Yeah.
Suppose we use arrays, right? In that case, how this will change?
So you want to iterate over arrays?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Iterating over arrays, you can do both C style and Python style. Let me show the Python style because that is pretty easy. So let's say you have the array, right? So ARR, this is how you define the array in round brackets. So how you iterate is basically this way. So let me remove this. So basically you have to put like this. So dollar curly braces ARR, and then square bracket at. Right? So what this does is this will expand all the arrays
Give
into
the index.
No, not the index, right? So I'm using ampersand.
Okay.
Sorry, not ampersand, the @ sign. So this will give you all the values. So you can see that also if you do like this, no? Then exit. So this will expand to all the values. For the index, I think it is the exclamation mark.
Exclamation mark and then at the rate. But exclamation mark should be outside, means like before array, I guess.
Yeah, like this. So this gives the index. If you don't have this, then this gives the values. So this expands to all the values, and then you know how to iterate over a list of values. Right? So this is the Python style. So here you can print the number. So this works. The
Okay,
reason we
everything
use
will
the
be handled by iteration.
yeah.
And
The
we
reason
can
we
have
use the
multiple,
quotes
right?
here. What multiple?
We can have multiple iterators like I, J, K, L, whatever.
Yes. You can do the nesting. Yeah. And make sure to use the quotation, because if you, let's say, have a multi-word element, so this is handled properly if you give the quotation, but if you don't give the quotation,
Okay.
then it will break the word. So it will be like, it will iterate for each word.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so always put the quotation when you're expanding arrays. Okay, so yeah, let's wrap up the bash scripts. Oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to go through. This, I will go through it very quickly. So for example, this, no, not this one. Right, so what were we doing here? Bash 7.sh. I'm printing the numbers, right? So I'm printing a pattern. Let's say I am asked to also put spaces between the numbers. So then I can put a space here and I get it like this, right? But also that I've, for every number I've put a space at the end. So even the last numbers, there is spaces at the end. So this is 5 space, 4 space. Right? You can see that if you, let's say, pass it through xxt. So you can see there is 1 space and then new line, 1, 2 space and then new line, right? So there is a space at the end also. So sometimes this, like, you may be asked to not have spaces at the end. So how can you remove just the space at the end, not the space in the middle? Any idea?
Sir, cut, sir, with hash or dollar, I guess.
Yeah, you can use sed. So what you can do is you can do sed like this. So not this, sorry, like this. So what this is doing is you are matching a space at the end of the line, right? So not all these spaces, just the space, and I don't need this, just the space at the end of the line, and I'm replacing that with nothing. So the last space will basically be removed. So if I run this, so to your eye, this will look the same. But if I see, so you can see 1 and then new line, right? 1 space 2, then new line. There is no space after the last element. So for sometimes when you have to print a pattern, no, this might be useful, because you might be told to print spaces only between, not in the end.
Sir, sed is outside for loop na here. So
Yes.
why the pipe is taking every line of the every output of the for loop?
So sed works line by line, right? Any normally
So
also if
sed
you
works
give,
line by line, but now
so,
we have not told sed what is the input.
piping
For
it,
is
right?
finished.
I'm piping output of this entire for into sed. So everything that is printed inside this outer for, that is given to sed.
So it's like now sed is taking from standard in, something like that, right?
No, it is not taking from standard in. Like,
I
yeah,
mean,
it is
force
taking from,
output.
yes, yes, yes. So the force standard out is given as standard into this sed.
Okay.
So whatever is printed by this for, that is taken by sed.
Sir,
Yeah. Go ahead.
how does it not consider the spaces in the middle?
Because I'm matching with the dollar, no, which means end of line. So this is only matching space at the end of line. If I do this, then this will remove the first space. Or if I give G, it will remove all these spaces. But I am telling it to match the space at the end of the line. So this dollar means end of line inside or in regex.
Okay.
Yeah. There's another
We
easier
would
way
have,
to do this. Yeah, go ahead.
So
we would have written sed as a second line to the echo inside inner for loop. Then also it would have worked.
No, no, no. So then sed will take standard input, no? I want to give the for's output as input to sed.
Okay, so here you have written dollar s. So what is that dollar?
Which one?
In the said part.
Yeah, this is end of line, right?
So okay, so if we replace it with nothing, then which part of the line will be replaced?
The first space. That is how sed works, right? If you don't give a G, then first occurrence is replaced. We also saw this only 2 minutes, 2 seconds ago. So the
Okay.
first space is removed. If you give G, then all these spaces will be removed. And if you are matching not any space, but space at the end of line, then that is being removed.
So is there any kind of flags or any kind of options for like character insensitivity, like it will handle all the
Yeah,
characters.
yeah, you can use I here. That is case insensitive.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So both lowercase and uppercase. Yeah. So this is one way. I'll show you another way quickly. So instead of printing it every time, what you can do is you can have a line as a empty string, and every time you can just do this line plus equals this. So now, so in every inside loop, I'm not printing. So I'm just storing this line, and outside here I can directly do. So if I print it this way, the output will be same as earlier. So I get the output, but I also have space at the end. But now I can do the thing that we learned earlier, right? Variable manipulation. So I can simply ask it to do a suffix removal. Right? So I can ask it to remove the last space at the end of the line. So this will remove the space. So you can see we don't have the space at the end of the line. So this is another way. You store it in a variable for each line. In the inner loop, you don't print. You just keep on adding it in the string, right? And after the inner loop, in the outer loop, for each line, you print it, but remove the space at the end. Right? So hopefully this is clear.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's all we have for the bash scripts to cover. So we'll quickly go through the set scripts. Right? So I won't be covering all the things in the set scripts, only a few important things. Oh, I already have a folder for set. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing is like printing and deleting lines, right? So that is the most simplest thing you can do with sed. So let me create a file that I can use, and we'll use that file for everything. .txt. I may change this also later. Okay, let me keep this in the side. Okay. So the simplest thing is you can match for certain pattern, and you can print or delete that pattern, like delete that line. So for example, if I want to drop all the lines that has the word world, then I can do something like world D. Right? So what this means is for all lines that have this word world, I will drop that line. So if I run this sed input.txt. So you can see only the first line is printed because the second and third line has the word world. Right? So that is dropped. And similarly, we can do the ulta also, like opposite. We can print a line if something is present. So can you mute Shobha? I'll have to mute from here. Okay. I am unmuted, right? Yeah. Yeah. Anyone?
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
There is a in live session there is a Linux lectures, Linux shell lectures. So, are those lectures are for us or the Linux course?
Where is it present?
In live sessions in YouTube system commands, there is there's lectures like Linux shell. Those practice questions also.
This one? Yeah. This is, I think, for the introduction to Linux, but the syllabus is same, so you can refer to this if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sir, those lectures we have given in our portal, those best recorded live sessions, are they sufficient for our OPP preparation?
Yeah, there itself you have 3 videos on OPP. No, you can go through those. Those are for the OPP revision. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
सर लास्ट में आप ये चीज़ बता सकते हो कि एरर जो आती है स्क्रिप्ट को जब इवेलुएट करते हैं तो उसको कैसे मतलब समझना है, मतलब बेसिकली अभी तक जितने भी प्रोग्राम मैंने करे हैं वो सब प्रोग्राम को मॉडिफाई कर करके एरर को सॉल्व किया, पर कभी एरर से प्रोग्राम को मतलब सॉल्व नहीं किया, एरर को समझ के।
Yeah. Shall we take this at the end, Harshit? So I actually want to finish the things we are covering. Yeah, but because this can go a bit long, no? So we'll take this at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So as we saw, right? So if I use D, this will drop the lines that are matching, and if I use P, so then it will print the lines that are matching. But here you can see one issue, right? So it is by default printing all the lines. So the first line is printed, the second line is printed, but the lines that are matching, they are printed again because I have asked it to print. So this is one issue. So if I run the script with -n, then this is mitigated because -n means by default lines are not printed. Only if you specifically mention to print using the p command, then they're printed. So if I now run it with -n, now you can see only lines that are matching this are being printed. And if I don't have anything to print, then nothing is printed. So that is the difference between having n and not having n. So you're expected to be familiar with how n works and how like your entire script can change depending on if n is there or not. Right, so let us quickly come back. Yeah, so if you have the n, then if you put a p on some range regex, then it will print those lines that match that regex. So you can print or delete lines conditionally based on a regex. So we saw how the output changes with and without the -n flags. Right, so it works for all the commands, for the P, for D, for substitution. So by default, nothing will be printed. Only if you give a P, it will print. So for example, if I want to do a substitution, so if I want to change world with universe, right, so if I just run this, what will be the output?
Nothing.
Nothing, right? Because I'm not printing anything. So, oh, sorry, I forgot to close this also. But yeah, nothing. Right? If I remove the -n, then I will get the correct output. So the lines that don't have world, they are not changed. Where the world is there, the first occurrence is changed. So this becomes hello universe, this becomes universe world. So how can I change all the occurrences using G, right? At the end, if I put G, then all the occurrences are changed, even the second or after that. Right, and so again if I come back to this -n, so you can see right now it is not printing anything. So if I want to print, I can put a p at the end of the substitute command. So then only lines that are substituting, those will be printed. So this is a subtle difference. So you can see earlier when I did not give -n and I did not have p, first line was also printed even though no substitution is done there. Now if I have n and I do this p, then you can see that only the second and third line where substitution is done, then it is printed. Right, so can anyone tell how, even if I have let's say -n here, how I can write this script so that this substitution is done but all the lines are printed, not just the lines where substitution is done, the first line is also printed? Any idea?
You can give P in the next line by putting G instead of P. So global and print.
No, global is not required, but you can put the P in the next line. Right. So what this will do is for any line, it will print. So you did the substitution. So that works internally. It has done the substitution. And for any line, so not checking any condition. So unconditionally for any line, you're printing the line. So that is the easiest way you can do that. So even if -n is given to you, you can negate that by just doing an unconditional print. So for all lines, I am printing the line.
I have a question.
Yeah.
It might be rather silly actually. This S is basically string substitution that you are using with G. When you were actually explaining in Bash, you used double slash and then it did for the entire occurrences.
Yes.
So that cannot be used here?
No. So that is the Bash syntax. Instead, we have to put a G at the end. In Bash, we use double slash.
So in Bash, G will not work, is it?
No, G will not work. They're like separate syntaxes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
No, bash also substitute command is same now for the editor. It is only in the variables substitution.
Yes.
It will
Yeah,
work different.
in the variable substitution, yes.
So, but bash mean the same substitute will work as it's working in sed, no?
Yeah, if you're calling it with sed, it will work.
No,
Sorry,
not
can
sed.
you repeat that part again?
In the Vim, let's say we put colon
Vim is
and use this.
No, you're talking about Vim, so that is not bash. Yeah, in Vim, the same thing will work.
Okay.
Yeah, Vim syntax is same as sed syntax. Yeah.
So for the bash script, I should use double slash.
Yes, if you're doing that variable manipulation thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let me. Okay, I should have done this in separate files. Okay. One second. Let me just copy this. Just to keep record of all the things we covered. Let's. Okay. So the next thing I want to go through is how we can change the case of something. So we saw that in the variable manipulation, but if you ask to do that in a sed script, how you can do that? So I can keep this open on the side. So let's say for all the worlds, I want to make the first W capital. So again, this we can do by matching this, and obviously if I know what I am matching, I can directly do the substitution like this. Right, so I can say instead of world, make it world. 3.7 without the minus n. Right, but if you don't know what the word is, so for example, if I want to match any word, right, so that will be A to Z present as many times as possible. So if I want to match any word and I want to make the first letter capital, so then I cannot write the word here. So then what I can do is I can use \u and ampersand. So what ampersand does is this is like referring to the match. So this itself will not do anything. This entire thing makes no change, because what I'm doing is for any word I'm matching, I'm replacing it with itself. So I'm not making any changes. So you can see if let's say I put two ampersands, then you can see every word is duplicated. So hello becomes hello, hello, how becomes how, right? Or if I put anything in between, so you get like this. So basically in the substitution, the ampersand symbol is a special symbol. What this means is the entire match. So I'm replacing the match with the entire match, dash and the entire match. So instead now if I want to make the match uppercase, I can use \u. This is again a special thing. And the lowercase u means make the first letter uppercase. So now you can see each word, the first letter has become uppercase.
So the middle part is regex.
Yeah, this is regex, and this is
Can
the.
you put it in the quotes as well?
No, you cannot put this in quotes. You have to put it directly. Yeah. So the lowercase u, it means only the first letter, but if you make it uppercase u, this means the entire thing. So this will make them.
And is there, no? So that and what it is?
We just explained this. No, the and refers to the entire thing that is being replaced. So this matches any word. So I want to replace it with that word, made it uppercase. So ampersand refers to the entire match. So for example, you can see if I do this, this will make the entire word duplicate. So hello dash hello. So this means the entire match. Okay. Similarly, you have \L for lowercase and \capital L to make an entire match lowercase. So these are the case conversions.
So \small u was for small.
No, this will convert the first letter.
Okay, only the first letter.
Yeah. Right, and so let me also go through the groups and backrefs. So this you would have gone through in grep when you were studying grep, also in sed. So I'll quickly go through this. So you can also like group your matches, and just like in 3, what we did was we used ampersand to match the entire match. You can also match part of the matches by using back references. So for example, if I do substitute and then I'm grouping, right? So I group, let's say, A to Z present as many times, then a space, then again A to Z present as many times. Sorry, let me make this small. Yeah, so what this will do is this round brackets means we are creating a group here, so it doesn't change how it is matched, it just remembers those each match, or it numbers those each match. So here I'm telling any word, right? So lowercase letters as much as possible. Then we have a space, so this is one word, and then this is the second word, so again any word, and I have grouped them in brackets. So this counting from left to right, this is the first group, this is the second group, right? And then we are substituting it as \2/1. So this refers to the second group and this refers to the first group. So can anyone tell what this script will do basically?
Will it reverse the order?
Swap.
Swap it?
Yeah, not fully reverse, it will swap the first and the second word. So if I do sed minus f4.sed on input, so you can see last line we cannot see anything, but yeah, you can see it becomes world hello. So hello world, it becomes world hello. So the first two words are swapped, and here you can see the ru remains as it is. This hello how, it becomes how hello. Right? So only the first and the second words, they are swapped. So my next question will be, what happens if I put a G here? What will be the output?
Everything will be swapped.
Okay, so in grep or inside in regex in general, you don't have overlapping matches, right? So if this is one match, because what we are matching is basically two space separated words. So if this is one match, then this will not be another match, right? So directly this will be another match. So what this will do is it will swap like all the two words, side by side words. So if I run this, now you can see that I'm getting how hello, and then okay, this one is still not matching, is it? The RU, it is remaining as it is. Okay, let me see what went wrong here. So the first two is being matched, so it's same as without the G. If I'm using the G, we are not getting the space. Okay, not really sure what is happening here.
So before to slash, we have to give space.
That shouldn't be the case. Okay, I'll look into this one. I'm not really sure what's happening here. Right. So, but let me know if this one is clear. What we covered before. Right. So, if you group something, you can refer to that using the backslash, and you don't have to refer to it only once. You can also do something like this. Right. So you can see I'm getting the second word two times. So how hello, how are you, world, hello world. Right. So in your replacement, you can write anything, and if you put these special things like backslash and number, this refers to the groups. So you can group anything in your search, and that thing you can put back by putting them in back reference.
Sir, can we add a space as well? Will it work?
Add a space where?
After slash, we have a /2, right?
Yes.
Back reference to. So there can we add a space?
No, then this will not work. You cannot put a space here.
No. Means just after first slash, then and the second space. Yeah.
Here, like this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Because
this will.
I find it very hard to read in that case if it is very.
No, but this will work. But this will actually put the space in your output, so your output will not match.
Okay.
Yeah, so you should do it.
What is that final slash is doing?
So this marks the end of the replacement. This is the end of the search and start of the replacement. This is the end of the replacement. This marks the end basically of this part. And also another quick thing. So ideally, instead of slash, you can make any character. So this can be pipe also. But whatever character you're using, you have to use that in all the 3 places. So this also works as expected. So it can be any character. So usually we use some character that we don't use in the search, right? Otherwise we have to escape that. So we use /, but any character can be used as the delimiter. So whatever is there after the S, that has to be there here and here.
Okay.
\2 space and then \1 space is syntax. That space is necessary.
No. That we have put ourselves. So you can remove that. So then you will not get any space here.
Okay. Okay, this is for the space.
Yeah.
For replacement, it will work.
Yes. Okay. So let me know if this is clear.
Yes, sir. Sir, can we have cases where inside bash script we have to use sed and AWK?
Yeah, in general, that is there. In OPP, that won't be asked. Like you, in the questions where you're asked to create a bash script, there you can use sed and awk. That is up to you. But in questions, if you're asked to create a sed script, then you cannot use bash there. Then you have to just write like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inside, I can't do that, right?
No, inside you cannot. In awk, there is a possibility. If you go through awk, 1 second. I won't go through this now, but I can tell you where you can find it. Yeah, in awk, there is a function called system. 1 second. Yeah, there's a function called system. So you can go through the system. So inside awk, if you put something in the system function, then you can run any bash command inside awk. But this is advanced. Like you don't need to do this for OPP. If you want, you can do this.
Okay.
You can go through this. Okay. So we're done with the things I wanted to cover for sed. Obviously, there are other things. You can go through the man page of sed or the info page. For sed, grep, and awk, the info page is better than the man page. Right. So if you do info sed, it won't work in my system. I don't have info. But yeah, if you do info sed in the VM, you will get a detailed like book-like thing inside where you can see a lot about sed. I'll show you actually in a second. Yeah, if you do info sed, you will get something like this. So there you can like it'll have chapters. So like you can see sed scripts, sed addresses. So hover over any chapter, you can press enter, it'll open that chapter. So you can go through this. Right, so I'll stop with sed here because that is basically all you need for the
This
yeah.
page, this file, where is it?
You have to run info with the argument like info sed or info grep.
No,
and
the presentation file.
Oh, okay. I'll share this. So I have shared the link, right? It is.
It will be pushed to GitHub, right?
Yeah, it will be pushed. Right now, it's not there. It will be pushed in this. So you'll get a folder for today, and there inside you'll have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, you said that you will be taking something regarding this. Okay, we have awk today also.
Yeah. I'll quickly cover awk. We won't be doing much about awk. So just the basics, right? So you can expect easier questions in awk. So yeah, in awk, I'll revise just the basics. I expect you all to know all this. Right? So if you are iterating over a file in awk, you can set the input and the output delimiters. So by default, awk uses white space. So let me create an input file here also. Okay, can I maybe generate this file? Let's see. And then inside I want maybe let's say 3 columns, right? So or I can directly print this way. Random, comma, random, comma, random. So yeah, bear with me and just create a file for us. Yeah, this seems to work. Yeah, so let's say I have a file like this, input.csv. Right, so I can create I can write a awk script that runs over this, and by default it will split by white space. So if I want to tell awk how to split, I can set the fs variable. So hopefully you're aware about the fs. It's the field separator. So I'm asking it to split by the comma, and then each token separated by comma, they are taken as one field. So then inside the normal body, so if I don't give any condition here, this is run for all the lines. I can, let's say, just print the first column. Right, so now if I run this, yeah, so you can see only the first column is printed, right, in each line. Similarly, if you want, let's say, if you want to swap the orders like we did, so you can do something like this. So the first and second are swapped. So here you will see, even though when reading I am splitting by comma, in my output I am still separating my things with a space, right? So because here this comma is not a literal comma, this means print this and also this and also this. So how these things will be separated depends on another variable called OFS, or the output field separator. So by default this is space. If let's say I make it minus, then it will come like this, or if I make it comma, then it will come like this. So for each question, like for each awk script, you have to first see, okay, how is my input expected, how is my output expected. Accordingly, you set the fs and OFS, right? So if I set the OFS to be comma, then my output is also comma separated, and the input obviously I'm parsing as a comma separated. So another thing I can do is, let's say I can do $1 plus $2 plus $3. I can find the sum. Right? So if I do this, you can see I'm getting the first, second, third field. I'm swapping the first two fields because I did 2, 1, the third field, and then the sum of the fields. Right? So, or you can find the average also. But if I do something like this, so I have to give a bracket here, and then I can find the average of the 3 fields also. Right, so these basic arithmetic you can do in awk, like CSV parsing, TSV parsing, you can do in awk. Right? And you can obviously find the sum, you can find the average by just storing the values. So another way you can do is, so this was a line. Yeah.
Expression is not needed, no? Like
what expression?
In Bash we put double braces for
No,
arithmetics to be evaluated.
You don't need that. No, in awk directly you can write. Yeah. Okay. So this was a line-wise average that I took. Let's say I want to do it column-wise, then it will be a bit different. So what I will do is, so we can store some variables. So I can use the variables and I can do it there. So for example, if I want the average of the, or the, yeah, sum of the average of the first column, I can do is col1 plus equals $1. Right. So for each line, I am adding the value of the first column in this variable. And in awk, if you don't define a variable, it by default starts with 0. So I don't have to define it. So this starts with 0. And in every line, I'm adding the first column's value. And finally, I can have an end block, which is run only after all the lines are printed. And I can do a total, like I can do something like this, print total col1. So now if I run this, you can see I don't actually print the sum of each line, but in the end, I print the sum of the first column. And similarly, we can do for column 2 and column 3. Right? So you can store sums, or you can also like divide by the number of rows. Right? So if I do divide by number of rows, then instead of total, I get the average. Let me have this and this also. So I can get the total and I can get the average. And I can also show this. So I'm just keeping all of them so that when you refer to this code again, you just see all of them in the one place. Right, so these are the basic operations you can do on awk, like finding the row-wise sum, finding the column-wise sum, finding the average, etc. Right, so
Sir,
you can also,
I didn't understood that part, that column-wise sum.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I have a variable that and in each line, so this part runs for each line, right? In each line, I'm storing the, I'm taking the first column, the first field, and I'm adding it to this variable. So call1 starts with 0. So this is 0 plus this number. Then next time it is this is stored in call1. So that plus this second number. So it's sum of the first. Then it is sum of the
It
first.
will run till all the number of rows we have. So that's why we are just storing the first field into the column and adding it up.
Yes. Similarly, you can do for the second column or third column also. Okay. And if you want to, let's say, do it for all the columns. So one way is you can use a for loop. Right? So hopefully, you know, you have just like NR is number of rows. In each line, you have the NF, which is number of fields. So what you can do is you can run a for loop. So for I, okay, let me remove this. Yeah, for I is 1. So again, in awk, the field numbering starts with 1. So you already saw that. This is $1, this is $2, this is $3. Right? So we start with 1. We'll go till the NF, which is the last field. And here what I can do is I can store it in a dictionary. So in Python, you would have learned what a dictionary is. It's like a key value pair. So I can do something like call of I plus equals $I. So what we are doing is for each column, I have a separate variable. Right? So I'm clubbing it in one dictionary. So I have a dictionary call. Their call 1 will store the sum of all the first column row values. Call 2 will store the sum of all the second column, and call 3 will store the sum of all the third columns. Right? So I'm creating a dictionary and I'm iterating over all the fields to store the sum of the fields here. And then in the end, again, I can iterate over them. Right? So I can again iterate over 1 to NF, and I can print, what is this? I don't need so much. I simply want to print the average, or I can first print I and then I can print the sum. So this is basically sum of each column. So if I run this now, okay, ideally I want to do this in a separate file. Just give me 1 second. So we were doing this. So let me keep this in this file. Let me create another file. Yeah, so if I run this 2.awk, yeah, so you can see I'm not in the normal this block, I'm not printing anything. So my lines are not printed. Directly in the end, I'm printing the sum of each column. So column 1 sum is this, column 2 sum is this, column 3 sum is this. Or you can also print the average. So for example, if I say column I average. Right, so here you can again do this by NR, number of rows. Is bigger, yeah. So instead of printing the sum, I'm printing the average. Right, so this way you can run a for loop inside, like for each line, you can run a for loop, and you can iterate over each field. Right, so you can set the I from 1 going till NF, which is the number of field. Right, so field 1, field 2, field 3. And you can, for each field, you can do any operation. So for example, here we are storing their sum in a dictionary. So call I plus equals $I. So if this doesn't make sense, just go through this a few times after the session. This is a pretty simple code. Right? So I'm just storing it in a dictionary. You would have done something similar in your Python course also. So I'm just storing the sum of each column in the dictionary. And in the end, I'm just dividing all those sum by the number of rows to get the average. So for each column, I can find the average.
Sir, the decimals has been restricted to only 1. Is it?
Which one?
The average. Decimal.
Okay. No, it is not restricted. Actually, the values that we have, no, their average itself is only like one value.
Otherwise, can we use those 0.2 f percentage like?
Yes, you can do that. If you're using printf, no, you can give that formatter. Or here also, you can set the OFMT. This is the output formatter. So here, if you, let's say, give percent, how do we do it? Point, let's say 6f. So then I think it will always give you, is it not? Okay. This should work. I think if you do it with just the print, maybe then it will work or something like that. So I'm not familiar with this right now, but you can explore this. So there is OFMT where you can set the output format. or you can also use printf, right? So you can use printf and you can do things like percent like this, right? So something like this. So yeah, you can see it is now giving you that many
Yes.
points. Yeah, so look into this, you can play around with this.
So once we use printf, it is all like C. Yeah, we can
Yeah,
use it
yeah,
like
yeah,
C.
yes, exactly. Right, so that is pretty much all I had to cover for today's session. Just let me know if you have any doubts in this awk part, or we can end and we can take general doubts. Yeah,
So, awk difficulty level, sir, in the OPP
it will
will
be
be
simple. It
similar.
will be something like this, similar to
Yes.
this. Yeah.
Would you,
Sir, I
earlier
have
you were
one
mentioning you
question.
would be saving these files at a certain location. Can you show where that is?
Yeah, everything will be in that. Where did it go? Yeah, this one. Everything. Okay, let me push it now only. Otherwise, I might also forget. Yeah, if you refresh this page now, you will get this where you will find all the examples and you will
Can you
find
share
the
this link?
PDF. Yeah, let me reshare.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sir,
Yeah.
I have one question.
Yeah.
It's like what happens is when I see questions, right? So I get the basic idea that what I have to do and how it is, but sometimes questions are a bit ambiguous. What the problem is that when I try to write it, right, the syntax I always do wrong. So means like what to do in that case.
Yeah, there's no like easy solution for that. Basically, it comes with practice. Right. So same with when you learn to write in English, for example, you would have made like grammatical mistakes. Right. So you know what you want to say. You can write the words, but maybe order of the words is wrong or something like that. So when you started writing, that happened, but now it doesn't happen. Like I hope so. So that again comes with practice. So the more you practice, the more you like. If let's say anytime you're writing a question, you're getting something wrong, and then you debug and understand, okay, what did I do wrong? So every time you're making a mistake, you learn from it. So there's no like easy solution for that. It comes with practice.
No, my question is not regarding that.
Yeah,
My
so yes,
question is
like say you don't know how to form the solution, right?
no. I am saying that what is sometimes questions are ambiguous, right? So
Yeah.
basically, finding the content means whatever they want, that I find very difficult because I assume something and actually the thing is something different. I
Okay,
went.
yeah, that is a two-pronged issue. So
No
so
sample.
yeah.
Generally, first look at the sample input and sample output. It should give you much of an idea.
So the thing is, there are two issues. One is sometimes the question can actually be ambiguous, right? So there, like no one can do anything. But usually we will try that it is not so. So for the OPP, like I can say, it should be pretty easy to understand. That is one issue that can happen. Second is again practice, right? So if you do questions a lot, you will understand what is the general pattern, how it is asked, and then if there's some ambiguity, you can look at, like you said, you can see the sample input, sample output. You can also see the other test cases also. So all the private test cases are available for you to see. You can go through those to understand.
Sir, one difference is between our BPTs and the NPP. Private test case results were not given. Means failed
Yes.
result was given, but the difference between our
Yeah.
output and your this thing was not given.
Yes,
It
that
was
won't be
given.
there. Yes, that
Okay.
won't be shown here because it's
So,
private. No? So
so then we have to explicitly go to the private test case and see the
that
output
that also
completely.
you cannot see. It won't be available. That's the whole point. So same as any other OPP. No, you can only see public test case. Not
But public we will be able to see.
yes, public you can see.
Sir, I'm asking this because in your videos, whichever was shared, right? There I see that you break down those questions as well, like what actually it is there. So that thing, how you do that thing, I want.
I think like I might be a bit repetitive, but again that comes with practice. No, so for one of the things you require is English comprehension. So that is something you need first of all. So if you are able to comprehend what is written in the question, that is the first step. Second, then it comes with like the problem solving ability. More you solve the problems, easier it becomes for you to understand. So the first step is, given a big problem, you have to understand how I break it into small chunks.
That thing.
Yeah, that comes with practice again. So if you know the commands that exist and the different permutation combination of how they behave with their different flags, you can quickly like make the associations. Okay, this part of the question I can do first by using this command, this flag, then from its output I can use this command, this flag, and move slowly towards the solution. Also, it won't come to you directly at once, right? So you will start maybe with the input. You try the first command, try some variation. Okay, I am satisfied with the output of this. Now let me pipe it to this second command. So you build it one by one, not directly.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me
And
take only a
sir,
few more doubts and close.
one
Yeah, good.
is there any sir better split screen terminal which we can have other than Tmux? Because
I've
in Tmux I was
yeah.
not able to scroll up and down. That was the
Did you go through the Tmux video that we have in the portal?
yeah,
So there
yeah.
are some
On thoughts,
configurations you can do.
what configuration?
So in the portal, no, if you go at the very end after week 10, there should be a tutorial section. So there you will find a video on Tmux. So if you just use Tmux directly, it will work in default settings. But you can make some changes in configuration of Tmux. So for example, you can set the mouse mode to be on. So you have to go through the video to understand what I'm saying. But that helps to actually add some features that is helpful. So for example, if you click on one pane, the focus will go to there instead of you having to use the keyboard combination to move there. Similarly, the scroll works with the mouse. So those configurations you can set by yourselves. But yeah, if you don't want to use Tmux, you can also use like two PowerShell or two WSL side by side, and you can log in both of them. Like you can SSH into both of them. That is also allowed.
Okay, sir. Okay, okay.
Another
Thanks.
benefit of Tmux is if let's say your connection goes out, no, if it like you're disconnected, if you were writing something in Vim, that will not be lost. So that will be saved. If you just do Tmux A next time, you can just get attached to your previous session. So that is another benefit. So you can look into that. Yeah.
In tutorial section, it is. That's what you are talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, now can you tell me how to understand error and modify a program to solve it, and how is output is checked with the public test or private test cases?
Yeah, so the error basically, again, that also comes to practice. But a few things to keep in mind is, for example, most commands will tell you which command is throwing the error. So that will usually be the first word. So then you can see, okay, this command I am getting the error. And then it will mostly say the error in simple English, right? So you have to read through, understand what it is saying. Some part of it comes with practice. Like if you have faced the error many times, next time you see, immediately you will know, okay, oh, this is a silly mistake I made. But the first time you're facing it, it will take you some time to understand. So that's why we prefer that you get all the errors before OPP. So when in OPP you make some silly mistake and you get an error, you quickly understand, okay, this is the error, instead of you having to actually try to understand the error that time. And so the more errors you get earlier, the better. So once you fix an error, you will remember, okay, this error message means most probably I made this mistake. Right? So that you can think of it like a dictionary in your brain. So the key is the error message, the value is what actually I did wrong. So that you have to keep on building with your experiences, so that when you are doing the OPP, you can quickly do a O of one lookup of, okay, this is the error, means this is the thing I have to change. But yeah, I would say write more and more scripts, write more and more syntax, and try to do things. So not just the questions that are given, right? Even you by yourself, as you saw. So today I was just creating text files by myself, scripts by myself. So that you can do by yourselves also. Just create some input files, create some scripts, try to do things like give yourself some challenges. So the more you work on those, the more you will get error, obviously. And then if you solve the error, you will build that knowledge base in yourself.
Sir, that error I can understand when we are doing with myself and error is coming in between the terminal. When it is OPP, when it is checking part, public test is checking with this my output. Then that type of error I can't able to understand and how to know which part is wrong from. Can you show one demo or any pre-recorded video of for such things?
Yes, there's a video of this actually where I've gone into the details. It I think it is in the portal. It should be OPP tips and tricks, or it is in the YouTube channel also. So you can go through the OPP tips and tricks video. So there I've gone through a few things you can do for OPP. And also I've discussed how the diff command works, right? So the output you usually get in synchro eval, it is an output of a diff. So it shows what is the difference between the expected output and your original output. So if let's say out of 10 lines, only one line is wrong, it will not print all the 10 lines. It will only print that one line where the output is different. So once you're familiar with how diff works, it becomes a bit easier to understand.
Okay, there is difference on I have to learn, then I can understand that all OPP error. In which part or in which weak part this diff command is taught by the professor or any video by you?
I don't remember in which week. Yeah, the video is there in the portal. No? If you go into the best live sessions, there it should be at the end, OPP tips and tricks.
Okay.
Yeah. Second last video in that. Yeah. Yeah, I think I have
Second
to
last
close
video
the
in the best revision session.
Yeah. I have to end the session now. I don't have much time after this. Right, so if
Yeah,
you have
just 1
any
minute.
other doubts, yeah, go ahead. Sanjay.
Like other OPPs, we open the exam link in the Chrome and do the things. Now here it is the terminal, our terminal only.
You have to open the
So
exam link. You have to agree to the COC. Then you have to open the terminal. You will get the page like tab switch. That is fine. You can ignore that. But you have to open the exam link. You have to submit the COC. But all the questions and answers you have to do in the terminal.
So here, what all things are violations? Like because you told multiple terminals are possible. So I may open. I am using Mint, so I may open second terminal and log in there also. Is it?
Yeah, multiple terminals are open is fine. Browser with the exam tab is fine. Any other tabs is a violation. Any other application is a violation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So multiple terminal is okay.
Yeah, that is fine. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Sir.
I
Sir?
think I don't have time for any other doubts, Ravi. Sorry to
Oh,
cut you
no
off.
issues.
Yeah.
Take it in the TS session.
Yeah. Every day of this week we'll have a session 9 to 11, so you can take it up there. Right, so let's end the session.
Sir, actually, it was regarding that fourth NPP. It was actually giving me some issues. That's why.
There's also a thread on Discourse. You can check that.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah. Thank you all. I'll close the session now. Yeah. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.